greatest of all teachers and giver of love, hope, faith, and wisdom, look upon your children, the teachers, learners, parents, guardians, and out-of-school youth and adults. We humbly ask for your mercy and forgiveness. Guide us to the right path. May our efforts be blessed with insights and understanding, wisdom and respect for all. Bless us with patience, for the path of learning is never easy. Bless our commitment to keep on learning new knowledge and experiences. Let your light shine upon us as we make our world a better place to live in. Amen.
Magandang araw! April Marcas po, ang inyong pretty ate sa EdTech Unit. Alam ba ninyo na may webinar o online training session ng EdTech Unit tuwing Sabado? Ang araw na ito ay nakalaan para sa ating mga mahal na kaguruan upang turuan sila ng mga bagong kaalaman at kakayahan sa paggamit ng makabagong software at applications para sa pinaka-epektibong paraan at lubos mapagpusay ang kanilang paraan ng pagtuturo. This is also a refresher session for our beloved teachers to enhance their skills in technology. Every Saturday, we will conduct webinar sessions for teachers about the use, advantages, and relevance of different blended learning software applications. Ang webinar seryeng ito ay magsisimula ng alas 9 ng umaga hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali para sa morning session. Magsisimula naman ng alauna at magtatapos ng alas 4 ng hapon ang afternoon session. You can watch us in our DepEd EdTech Unit Facebook page, Educational Technology Unit YouTube channel, DepEd Tayo, and DepEd Philippines. Kita-kits tayo tuwing Sabado!
Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICTS EdTech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Hello everyone! It is the first Saturday of the month of June at simula na nga po ulit ang buwan ng tag-ulan. Hindi lang sa labas pero dito din po sa ating TechTalks series. And with me today is Miss Mardy. Right, Miss Mardy, bubuhos at pauulanin na naman tayo ng makabagong ideas na ating mga naglalakasang mga sakalam na speakers natin today. And of course, syempre, simulan natin bahain ang ating comment section ng inyong mga hashtag TechTalk sa ating sa ating comment section, mga viewers. Attendance check tayo. Right, Miss Mardy?
Yes, so good morning, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Nako, grabe na talaga ang ulan ngayong month ng June. Ito nga lang nakaraang week, halos araw-araw po umuulan dito. So sa mga taga Las Piñas dyan, hello po! Watching from Las Piñas at alam ko, marami pa po ang nanonood sa atin sa iba't ibang panig ng Pilipinas. Grabe nga, Teacher Zari, ang attendance check natin ngayon sa comment section. As early as 8:24, mga ganyan. Before 8:30, may mga nag-hello, good morning na sa ating comment section. So, alive na talaga sila. Batiin naman natin sila. So, good morning po, Sir Jomel C. Atienza from Talisay, Batangas. Good morning po from San Jose del Monte, Sir Teacher Michael Angelo Pagara. Good morning din po sa mga dito watching from Calos Integrated School, SDO Nueva Esiha Peñaranda Annex, Teacher Mirs Crisostomo. At sabi nga dito, watching from DepEd TV, talaga naman kung
Wow.
saan saang platform tayo napapanood ngayong araw. So good morning naman po, Teacher Anagam Etis Sir.
Kaya mo
Ayan.
yan, Miss Mardy.
Oo nga, kakaiba yung
Alright.
pangalan. Ikaw naman,
Totoo
Teacher
yan.
Zari.
Oo naman, Miss Mardy. Dito marami din mga bumabate. Yan, sabi po ni teacher. Dina Batadlan, good morning everyone watching from Tungkalan, ESP, Piedad District, SDO, Davao City, hashtag ni TechTalk. And then meron din tayo dito, good morning then from Pasig, Sir Romel Jan Abelye. And of course, meron din dito from Borongan City Division, Teacher Cleofe Ador Ramirez. And meron din dito, ang dami actually, Teacher Mardy. I want to mention everyone. Good morning daw from Teacher Salvador, from Teacher Marlon, Teacher Cecilia Clemente from Kawayan, Bulacan. Meron din dito watching from DepEd, Bislig City, from Teacher Jung Linoy. Ayan, maraming salamat po for your time, for you being with us again, teachers. Ayan, good morning po sa inyo. At kung maulan na po sa mga lugar ninyo, keep dry and keep safe po sa inyong mga bahay-bahay. As if nakakalabas po tayo ng madalas ngayon. But anyway, yeah. Sit tight, stay tuned, and then learn, get a lot of things today. So, marami tayong matututunan again for today. Last week, wala ako, Miss Mardy, tama? Ano nga yung napag-usapan natin? I heard nagkaroon tayo ng mga discussion about daily tales of everyday people. Am I correct, Miss Mardy?
Oo, totoo. So, yun nga yung topic natin last week. So, napakinggan natin si Dr. Annabel Sim at
Yeah.
tsaka si Teacher Debbie at shinare nila kung paano nga yung mga naging situation nila lalo na nung pandemic. At sabi nga dito sa ating comment box, meron ng curious na nagtatanong, ano pong pag-aaralan natin? So, ngayon pong araw na ito, ang pag-aaralan po natin, di naman po pag-aaralan, pero makikinig naman po tayo sa ating mga guest speakers at mag-share sila kung paano tayo makakapag-transition to digital authentic assessment. So, kayo po ba? Ano po bang mga naging struggles nyo rin or yung mga naisip nyo nung lumipat tayo sa digital authentic assessment, no? Lahat naging online, hindi na siya nasa ating mga physical classroom. So, alam ko po, naging very challenging talaga sa ating yung mga guro, lalong-lalo na sa simula nung pandemya. Nako, Teacher Zari. Pero bago tayo pumunta dyan, ikaw ba? Ngayong maulan na ang ating buwan ngayon. Ano ba ang gusto mong gawin pag rainy season?
Well, Miss Mardy, matulog. Kasi bad weather feels na tayo ngayong season. So sana kapag may time, 'di ba? Talagang itinutulog ko na lang kasi from super hot weather na ang hirap-hirap matulog dahil sa kainitan nga ng panahon, 'di ba? Ngayon na yung time para mag-hibernate tayo. Masarap kaya matulog kapag malamig, Miss Mardy.
Totoo naman po yan, no? So, kayo rin po, ano po ba ngayong rainy season ang gusto nyong gawin? Lalong-lalo na hindi na ganun kainit. Kaso,
Totoo.
palagi naman po tayong basa at malamig. So, i-share nyo rin po sa amin kung ano po ba yung mga trip nyong gawin pag rainy season na. So, ako naman,
Mhm. Go
Teacher
ahead.
Zari, 'di ba? Kung rainy season na, ang gusto ko talaga, consistent ako, mapamainit man o mapalamig, mas maraming kape. Mas maraming
Kape
kape ang
talaga.
maiinom ko ngayon dahil sobrang
Coffee
lamig.
lover talaga si Miss Mardy.
Oo. Kung last week dahil summer, no, ay gusto ko ay ng yelo, nagi-yelong kape.
Mhm.
Dahil ngayon naman ay rainy season na, gusto ko yung nag-iinit na kape. Yung
Yung
parang mapapaso talaga ako.
Grabe naman yung
Ayan.
mapapasa, Miss Mardy. Siguro
May
mahilig ka. Ano
nakarelate
ba
siya nga
klaseng
sa
kape
akin
gusto mo,
eh.
Miss Mardy?
Gusto ko
May
yung
creamer ba
matapang,
to?
yung kaya
Black?
kong ipaglaban,
Yun
ganyan.
lang. Actually, lahat naman gusto yan. Yung matapang kahit tayo paglaban sa antok, sa pagod, di ba?
Oo,
And also
tama.
coffee, nag-aano yan. Ako personally, pag guminom ako ng coffee, feeling ko nagigising lahat ng brain cells ko. Nagpapump up yung creative juices ko dyan kapag nagkakape ako. And
Totoo
also nga
naman.
'di ba? Effective siyang panggising ng ating mga brain cells. Kayo sa mga manonood diyan at sa mga lugar ninyo ay maulan, sabayan niyo na ng kape habang nanonood ng Tech Talk series natin. Ayan, Tech Talks and chill tayo with your coffee in your hands.
Ayan, meron ng mga
Alright.
nag-share na dito eh. Sabi ni Teacher Florin Santillar, magluto at kumain ng mainit na lugaw. Uy, tama naman yan.
Sana ka
'Di
marunong
ba?
magluto, Miss Mardy.
Ay, at sinigundahan naman siya ni Teacher Joey Alexander Sebastian Bautista, kumain ng lugaw with co-teachers or friends. So, hindi lang ikaw
Wow,
mag-isa, pero with co-teachers and friends. So, nako, ngayon siguro medyo virtual na lang muna ang pagkain natin ng lugaw with our co-teachers and friends dahil alam niyo na po, hashtag social distancing.
totoo 'yan. Pero hindi naman porket puwede tayong mag-virtual, food trip, hindi naman ibig sabihin nun less fun 'yun, 'di ba? So, actually mas maganda pa nga 'yun, eh. Ayan, ano
Ayan.
pa ba yung mga sinasabi nila diyan sa ating, chat box? Ayan, dami na
Kanina
nating
kanina
kasama
alam mo
dito.
ba Teacher Zari, may nakita ko, ayan galing dito sa taga Las Piñas National High School. Hello po, good morning Teacher Patricia Yvonne Cruz. So good morning sa'yo, sa aking taga Capo Las Piñero o Las Piñera. Ikaw Teacher
Ayan,
Zari, may
ayan dito
pumuho ka
sabi
ba sa
naman
mga mata mo diyan?
eto meron dito kasi gusto ko yung sinabi ni Teacher Christine Cortez. Good morning po everyone. Happy Cat Tech Talks Saturday to all po. Ayan, gusto namin din yan, Teacher Christine. Lahat tayo happy sa ating Tech Talks Saturday series. Ayan. And to everyone then from SDO City of Isabela, Region 9, good morning daw from Teacher Rachel Mansole. And also from Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo High School, we have Teacher Pauline Valenzuela. Good morning, good morning, good morning po sa inyo dyan. Ayan, ang dami nila dito. Oh, meron pa dito sinabi, Teacher Mardy. Sabi ni
Ano
Teacher
yan?
Lindon Dadulya, makinig sa mga malalamig na speaking voice ng Teacher Mardy at Teacher Zari. Ayan, yun daw gusto niyang gawin ngayon ata ngayong rainy season. Tama ba, Teacher Lindon? Ang lamig pala ng boses natin, Miss Marty. Parang gusto na ata mag-jacket ni Teacher Lindon.
Ay, gano'n po ba? Pero wag po muna kayo mag-jacket dyan. Dahil dito, sabi po ni Teacher Ann Cagita Salvador, magandang umaga po, inaantabayanan ko talaga Tech Talks. Hashtag Saturday Habit. Marami akong natutunan sa may series. Me Tech Talk mula sa Aguilar IS, SDO1, Pangasinan. So maraming salamat naman po dahil naging Saturday Habit nyo na ang pagsubaybay sa ating hashtag Tech Talks every Saturday. At syempre, lalong-lalo na rin yung sa hapon, yung Me Tech Talk.
Yung Me Tech
Meron
Talk,
pa
yes,
dito,
of course.
kay Teacher Estrelita Abaya, hashtag Tech Talks. Feel ko po ang matulog ng matulog at kumain pagkagising. Alam niyo po,
Maganda yan.
maganda po talaga yan pag
Hashtag
maulan.
relate ako dyan.
Hashtag same.
ayan, ayan, meron pa dito, di ba? Ang dami natin mga, I think nakakita din ako mga bagong names dito sa ating comment box. Alright, so meron din mga nag-good morning then from San Nicolas 3 Senior High School Bacoor. Ano yung uwu with heart? Ayan, from Teacher Dietrich Asuncion. And meron din dito, sabi ni Teacher Romy Casquejo, good morning, watching from Marigondo National High School Senior High, Lapu-Lapu City. Alright. Ayan na, Miss Mardy. Gising na ang ating mga viewers, ang ating mga educators ngayong umaga. Ang dami na natin. Nag-attendance check na tayo 101%. Ayan. Sa mga nanonood po ngayon, kindly tag your colleagues din po na wala pa po sa ating live streaming, mga friends ninyo, mga estudyante ninyo. So, tag them para makanood din sila ng ating session for today. I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 makakapick up po sila ng kanilang new discoveries and amazing learnings for this morning. Ayan na tayo. So, ang dami pa mga nagdadagsa ang mga good morning from SDO Antipolo. Hello po, good morning, Teacher Jane Robles Estipona. Ayan, sabi din dito, it's an honor na na-mention daw po si Teacher Dietrich Asuncion. Of course, teacher, lahat tayo dito. Walang nasi-sin zone, 'di ba, Miss Mardy?
Oo
Hangga't
naman po.
maaari.
Totoo po yan. So, para po sa ating opening remarks, He is an advocate of education and he uses his time and expertise to provide schools with the technological edge to stand out and to equip them with the right tools, skills, and competencies to thrive in our digital age.
Mhm.
Let me call ang boss po naming dalawa ni Teacher Zari, Mr. Francis Hernandez, the General Manager and Co-founder of Audentes Technologies Inc. Sir
Good morning, Sir
Francis, good
Francis.
morning!
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so thank you for having us this morning again with our friends from DepEd, at the same time, Microsoft Philippines. So we are all excited to see you again this Saturday. And I know when it comes to topic, excited kayo marinig yung magiging topic namin for this morning. Okay, so majority of our teachers are maybe asking, Sir, what's the next topic? Can we relate to that topic? Kasi last time it was power, I think it was power platform. So last week, so nagkaroon tayo ng session in which one of last week, one of our session, meron tayong speaker that was able to discuss how to code or how to create an app in roughly around 5 to 10 minutes. Now today, because of the growing demand when it comes to processes, academics, and school, so we invited two good speakers. No, so number one, he will be discussing on how they made that shift from traditional classroom moving to digital. So that's the first topic. Second would be is the other speaker will talk about how to use Power Automate. So to those teacher who would want to automate processes, no need for coding, no need for expertise in programming language, no. So this time around, he will teach you how to do it using Microsoft 365 platform. Now on our third speaker, okay, will listen to the digitools that we can use, okay, especially to our, I think it's Debinatics or fancy teacher Debbie. So she'll be highlighting about the tools that you can use for your everyday classes when it comes to your assessment. Okay. So with that, I hope you can stay with us starting from 9 a.m. up to 12 in the afternoon. Okay. So a lot of information will be cascaded to all our educators across the Philippines from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And we do hope you enjoy this morning with us. Okay. So thank you. Going back to our beloved Teacher Zarina and Teacher
Ayan.
Mardy.
Sir
Yes.
Francis. Pero sir, bago kayo umalis, kanina
Oh,
nagtanungan na kami dito. Rainy
okay.
season na nga, sir, di ba? Ako sabi ko po, mahilig ako matulog kapag rainy season. Si Teacher Mardy sa kape. Kayo, sir, share nyo naman yung thoughts nyo or yung ginagawa nyo pag rainy season.
Medyo pareho tayo, Teacher Zari. I go hibernate mode. So on average,
Hibernation.
yeah. So though every weekdays I cannot really sleep like yung 8 hours sleep. I
Mhm.
cannot really achieve it. Pero pag Sunday, nakatulog ako around 14 hours, no? 14 to 15 hours pag Sunday, no? So that's really my rest day. That's really ano sa akin, pag lahat ng
Hibernation day ba, sir?
yeah, hibernate mode ko 'yon. So yung mga task ko from Monday to Friday, so less than 8 hours yung tulog ko. Same goes with Saturday. Pero pag Saturday kasi, lahat ng pwede kong gawin pag Sunday, nilalagay ko na ng Saturday. Para yung Sunday ko, that would be my rest day. Then pag nagising ako, it's more of playtime with my kids. So that's my routine. Then Monday, grind time again.
Oo,
So I know,
workaholic kasi si sir talaga eh. Sa mga di
yeah,
nakakakilala.
I know sleeping 14 to 15 hours is kind of absurd, right? But that's how it is. Doon ko siya, hindi ko
Mhm.
alam kung may such thing as pagbawi sa tulog, pero I mean, I feel like we need like at least more than 8 hours of sleep at least once a week para at least um, makapag process ng mabuti yung mga isip
Tama,
natin,
sir.
or else baka yung Monday natin, kasi yun ang iniiwasan ko, yung Monday mo maging sabaw. baka maging precedent siya sa mga succeeding days. So
Wag
maganda
naman.
you
Yes.
really find time to rest, especially if you have family, if you have kids. Find time to enjoy your Sunday with your family. So, yeah. So that's it for
Ayan.
me.
Thank you for your sharing, Sir Francis.
At
All
saka I
right.
think Sir Francis 'no, talagang for adults like us, parang yung sleep parang iyan na talaga yung reward natin sa ating sarili. So, ngayon lang natin nare-realize na nung mga bata tayo nung pinatutulog tayo ng ating mga nanay at tatay 'pag
Hindi, hindi.
tanghali, na hindi tayo natutulog, ngayon natin naiisip, sana pala
Sana
dati pa lang natulog na ako nung pinatutulog ako. Hindi
Yeah, yeah.
ngayon na ang dami ko ng responsibilidad sa buhay ay mas gusto ko pang matulog kaysa ngayon gumala-gala, 'di ba? Tama
Correct,
po ba
correct.
yun?
I completely agree. I completely agree. Especially for yung mga, I mean the generation, the 90s generation and the late 80s generation. Before ka matulog, naka-ready pa yung tsinelas or sinturon. Oy, matulog ka na, ganyan.
parang
Well,
yun ata ginawa kay Sir Francis.
yeah, yeah. But today, I think kids are entirely different. So, there's a technique, no? So, if you have kids, you don't need to scold them or tell them to sleep. All you need to do is play with them. Play with them. Pag napagod sila, they will definitely sleep. So, technique is play with them, then give them food
Pagudin
or
sila, sir.
milk. Yeah, correct.
Pagudin sila.
Correct. That's my sleep. That's my technique. I don't force them to sleep. No, but what I do is I make them sleep in some ways kasi pinapagod mo sila due to play. Then at the same time, give them food or milk. Then nagulat ka na lang in just couple of minutes, they're knocked out na. So that's
Snoozing
my
na.
correct, correct. So yan. So, then from there, makakapag-work na ulit ako ng maayos. So that's the trick, especially for parents, no. So I'm already
Ino-note ko, sir. For the
an
future reference.
MBA for my kids, So I have 4, 3, 2, and 1. So talaga magkakasunod sila. So I have really level of mastery na when it comes to
Ay.
managing my kids.
All right.
Ayan.
Thank you very much, Sir Francis. All right. So ngayon, sir, sisimulan na natin officially ang ating discussion for today, ang mga bumabagyong discoveries, bumabagyong mga learnings na naman for today. Okay, so Miss Mardy, so let me call on. Simulan na natin again ang pagbaha ng mga fresh and amazing learnings and discoveries ngayong umaga. Let me bring in our first speaker. Okay? So, he is a man full of fruits, I can say. In 2017, Miss Marty, he completed his master's degree at the University of the Philippines, Cebu, City of Smiles. Wow. An educator for almost 11 years, one of the EdTech specialists of the ICTS ETU. From the division of Lapu-Lapu City. Itong ating speaker din ay talaga namang hindi papakabog, Miss Mardy. Isa siyang certified Hakot awardee and a tireless achiever. He won the Best Research Display during the first Regional Research Summit in 2018. The Best ICT Innovation for Governance during the first Regional ICT Summit in 2017. He is once recognized as the most outstanding junior high school teacher in Region 7 and in Lapu-Lapu City Division in year 2018. And you know what? The list goes on and on and on. Aming mga kagaruan, parents and students, isang malupit na virtual applause naman dyan para sa ating speaker na dala-dala ang mga titulong Microsoft Certified Educator, Microsoft Education Ambassador, Microsoft Innovative Educator Master Trainer, and Microsoft Innovative Education Expert and Fellow. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mr. Glenny Laping. Sir Glenny, good morning po.
Good morning po,
Good-
Sir Glenny.
Good morning, Teacher Sari and Teacher Mardy.
Nako, Sir Glenny, meron na po nagtatanong sa ating chat box. Sabi nga ni Teacher Christine Sara Sese, wow, how to be you po, Sir Glenn. Tama po ang tanong, how to be you po. Turuan niyo po kami.
Later po, later. Sasabihin
Ayan
ko
na.
sa kanila po. Yes po.
Yan.
Ay.
Dahil po dyan, hindi na namin po kayo patatagalin. Sir Glenny, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Teacher Zari and Teacher Mardy, for that very warm introduction. I will share my screen right now. All right, there you go, guys. A wonderful day to all our participants and viewers all over the Philippines and the world. I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to Sir Francis and the team of Audentes Technology for inviting me to speak on this very relevant topic of this time. To my DepEd EdTech Unit family, headed by Sir Mark Anthony C., Sir Mark Anthony Hamisal, and of course to my Microsoft family, Miss Clarissa Sigismundo and Miss Grace Co. And my Office 365 Rangers family in DepEd Lapu-Lapu City, LLC coders, casters, DepEd Region 7 headed by Dr. Jimenez, and DepEd Lapu-Lapu City headed by Dr. Bongalos, to my school head, Dr. Sagarino, my wife, Maureen, and my daughter, Glenn, and of course to my God who sustains me every day. So good morning once again. So with the pandemic dramatically changing the landscape of education, many teachers are struggling to create authentic assessments that meet the needs of all the students. The challenges brought to light by the coronavirus pandemic, specifically the implementation of different distance learning delivery modalities, have sparked a larger conversation about the role grades and assessments play in students' learning, prompting education sectors to rethink traditional assessment and grading schemes. This is the DepEd Order number 31, series of 2020, or the interim guidelines for assessment and grading in light of the basic education learning continuity plan which provides reasonable leniency to learners who are put to a larger disadvantage by the pandemic, but at the same time does not compromise the integrity and principles of assessment and grading. Even though teachers need to be understanding during this unprecedented time, it doesn't mean that assessments and instructions shouldn't be rigorous. Teachers must be innovative in order to challenge their students in the appropriate way. Virtual assessments are the most effective and efficient methods for assessing students' learning as stipulated in this DepEd order on the role of technology, which says technology plays a substantial role in helping teachers in the development, communication, implementation, and grading of assessment tasks. The following are the assessment tools for the written outputs, products, and performance tasks under languages and math learning areas. For written works, we have, if you can see there, we have book or article reviews, essays or journals, letter writing, reaction or reflection papers, and reports. And we have the products, we have campaigns, case studies, collage, compositions, literary analysis, multimedia productions, portfolios, research projects, story or poem writing. And in performance tasks, we have debates, interviews, multimedia presentations, panel discussions, and a lot more. And also in math and other subjects. So now let's find out what's the equivalent of these assessment tools during this time of pandemic. So in this DepEd order, we have these suggestions. I hope you can see it there. I hope it is clear in your screen. So there you go. So in written outputs in language, we have right now, number one, before we just do it because it's face-to-face learning, and now it's online distance learning or distance learning. So we can no longer do the book review as usual. Rather, we can have it through blog. So we can have a blog post on the book review or article review. And for essay, we can have this essay submitted through email. And another one we have for the journal. So we can have the e-journal right now. And for the letter writing, same thing. We can send it through email. And number 5, we have reaction paper. So we can do that one. Yes, send it electronically. And our reports, we can do that one through PDF. All right. So for the products, Instead of campaigns, the usual one, we can have it the YouTube campaign videos. So teachers are now producing videos as well as our students for their products or output. And for the case studies, yes, they can use Adobe. And e-collages right now, they can also use, yes, for the literary. Before they are going to literary analysis, they can use um, online platform right now. So for the performance task, we have instead of debate, the usual one, you can have an online discussion or debates using Microsoft Teams, using Google Meet or Zoom. And also interviews. So right now we cannot have it through face-to-face. That's why we can have it online and so on. All right. So those are the equivalent, no, of the traditional classroom assessment to what is right now. So at least we are guided by our DepEd order. All right. So, and now this time, let us see how we did it in our division, how we did it in our school, how we did it here in Lapu-Lapu City. So to all the Lapu-Lapu City participants, viewers in Marigondo National High School, in the island schools, I'm so glad to present some of your outputs here right now. So there's a lot of technology, right? So available in the web for remote teaching and assessment. However, we maximize the provision of DepEd to all teachers and students, and that is the Office 365. All right, so majority of our teachers right now have activated their accounts for the Office 365. Okay, so on the onset of the pandemic, as a Microsoft Education Ambassador, together with my team, the Office 365 Rangers, we empowered not just the teachers and learners here in our division, but as well as in the whole country to use Microsoft Office 365 for remote teaching and learning, as well as for the assessment. Later on, I will show it to you. Here are some of our digitized assessment using Office 365. We have number one. The most famous platform we are using right now is the so-called Microsoft Teams. All right, so Microsoft Teams, so we call this one as our virtual classroom. So Teams is a collaboration hub for Microsoft Office 365 users. So with meetings and group chat. So it's built in already and with admin functions and third-party applications. So through Teams, you will no longer go out from Microsoft Teams. In other words, because this is an all-in-one application, it can run different applications like YouTube, Kahoot, Quipper, Quizlet. I will show it to the screen like this. So in other words, it can run inside the platform the most common productivity tools of Microsoft, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Forms, and Outlook. And we can have also third-party applications, as what I have mentioned, YouTube, Kahoot, Prerequisite Ed Puzzle, inside, no, for assessment, inside Teams. And we can also have Flipgrid and the DepEd Commons inside Teams. In other words, you and your student will no longer go out from Microsoft Teams just to access these applications, especially the productivity tools like the one I have mentioned. All right, so for it, it is a one-stop shop application. So we also use Microsoft Teams as an official online platform. Okay, online platform for meetings in DepEd, forums, and webinars. Okay, so we're so happy that we can have it for free. And that's the good news about having the Office 365 for learners and for teachers. Later on, I will also give you the link on how to activate. If you are a teacher and you are a student and you don't have your Office 365 account yet, or maybe it's coming, I will give you a link on tutorial video on how to activate your account. All right, so later. Okay, next. So Teams, Microsoft Teams. So I'm using Microsoft Teams for assessing my students, for written works and even for performance tasks. That one you are seeing right now is an example. So class discussion and oral recitation during online class or synchronous instruction. Imagine this, seeing your students online, not in the box, rather in a classroom type environment. No, so it will encourage. Yeah, we call this feature of Microsoft Teams as Together Mode. So this Together Mode promotes a very inclusive environment, a friendly one, where it can encourage learners to participate. So we can have authentic or real scenario assessment. We can get their reactions, we can get the reflections right there and then orally. All right, if your subject is communication or language. So this is one of my favorite features, the Together Mode, which is designed to build a virtual live avatar of all the members of the team and negate their backgrounds. It provides the same feel of face-to-face meetings. So in other words, though you're doing it online, but it seems like you're doing it face-to-face. So it is being able to see all the members of the meetings together. Looking at all the members together at once transcends beyond technology, as human beings are wired for being socially affable. This feature leaves a feeling of being in virtual company or a large group, rather than individual isolated boxes. So it keeps the excitement alive. When I did this to my students during the introductory phase of Microsoft Teams, they were so eager and they're so excited, and they really participate in the discussion. So it makes us feel more comfortable and natural during a video call. All right. So we have it also here. All right. Okay, welcome, Mr. Microsoft. Yes, thank you. All right, so another one, if you will go inside the environment or the dashboard of Microsoft Teams, you can assign assignments. You can use assignment tabs. So one of the example assignment of the assignments I have given, we have yes, a video production or introduction of yourself using or reflection, no, or reciting a poem, no, through a video presentation of yourself. Another one is through animation, so using another third-party application. So that is Scratch animation app. So I don't need to direct my students to outside link. Rather, I will just direct them inside Teams, and they can have it all in there. All right. So another one. Yes, this is the assignment tab. So in the assignment tab, you can collect and gather, and of course, you can also monitor. This is the very most important, and give feedback. No, if the students were able to submit it or not, or if it is correct or not. And another one, an example from our colleague here, Dr. Rubilin Pastrano, one of her lessons in online distance learning, she was using this platform assignment tab for a performance task. Yes, for a performance task. It says here, write an original composition and must not have been used as an entry in any song competition. So in other words, she's asking an original composition. No? So she wants her students to be songwriters. All right, so that's good. And the instruction goes on and on. So there's a rubric also for the scoring, so that the students will be guided on how they are going to be assessed. All right, next. So we have also here the date and the score, how much they can or they will get, no? And when is the deadline. So an example of the video produced by the students is an experimentation. I will show it to you. Maybe others are asking, sir, it's so difficult to conduct a laboratory experiment for my student because we cannot have it face to face. But with Teams and with Office 365, you can have it here. Okay? Can be watched. All right. Once again, I will play the video one more time. All right, so I think it's only the music. I think you are just hearing the music, but no motion for a while. I'll fix this one. Okay, there you go. So that's an example only, no? A clip of the whole presentation of the student. I also cropped the part where the student is showing his face. So that's it. So we can have experimentation online. Okay. So another one. All right. So we can have it also like this. A while. There you go. Okay. There you go. So then after the assignment tab, you can use grades. So in Microsoft Teams, it's an all-in-one shop. So I think so it serves as an LMS or the learning management system for your class. So this is now your virtual classroom, as I have mentioned. So in other words, it does not only function as a classroom, you can also grade your students inside after submitting their output, and you can grade, give them their score and feedback. So the important thing right now during this pandemic in assessing our students is we can give immediate feedback, and it can only be done through technology. All right, we might do it through texting, through GC or group chat, or any form of means of communication using technology. All right, so that can only be done. If we will be doing that one through pen and paper, I think there's a risk also, and it will take us long, no, to get our feedback or to send our feedback to our students. All right, so next we have also this example from Dr. Belin's output on the graded output of the student. So this one is Newton's law of motion, and an example is, yes, a PowerPoint presentation. So this time, students are allowed to create their own presentation of a certain topic. So reporting or discussion or assigned topic or an insight of the lesson learned from the discussion. All right, so that's so nice, no? So inside Teams, you don't need to go out and open your Microsoft PowerPoint application and submit it there in Microsoft Teams. No, in Microsoft Teams, there's a tab wherein you're going to click Add, and then you select Word, Excel, or PowerPoints. So that's the beauty of using Office 365 as an LMS, okay? Particularly Microsoft Teams. So another one embedded already in this application is this one. So I know that most of us are familiar with this one. We call it Microsoft Forms. So Microsoft Forms, yes, we're using this one for authentic assessment during this pandemic through online distance learning, and for summative examination or summative test. All right, so this is very common, and we are enjoying the benefits now given given from that application, because we can collect all the data needed to give to monitor the performance or the progress of our students after. Yeah, because it can give us an Excel data collection, and we can download it offline. Okay, can use it offline, and then we can monitor our student real time. Yeah, that's real time. So another one, and this is the latest one, and we are now through DepEd. We are now rolling this out this coming school year 2021-2022. We call this one as the Minecraft Education Edition. All right, so this particular project right now is a pilot from Science and Technology Education Center. So we are not having it here in my station, and of course because we are just launching this one this coming July through a webinar. So this one particularly, and also the Office 365 for the learners, we will be distributing it this week, this coming week. So that's why we are not able to use it right now. But I allowed my daughter to use it already. I will show it to you, a video of my daughter. So this one is an example. So inside, the student can play, no, and then build. And the most important thing, not just that the student is playing and building, but the student can learn. All right, so learning is fun, so through game-based learning. So right, this like this lesson inside Teams created by the teacher. So music, she or he can create a virtual world where the student will navigate and explore. So the student will go, for example, in this music room and play the piano, or go to the PA hall and do the exercise using your character. All right. So it's very exciting. So, and it's very interesting tool for assessment. All right. So I have here an example, another one from one of the EdTech unit specialists assigned together with me in my team in the Minecraft Education Edition. So from, yeah, photo credits, teacher Rubilin Pastrano and teacher Glenna Tagibao. We are already piloting this to our kids. All right, so teacher Glenna is, yes, that is her son playing Minecraft, building a roller coaster, and that's teacher Robelin's output, giving instruction to students on what to do inside her virtual world. All right, so here's an example of my daughter. Hi, Glenn. Show me something about your Minecraft. Okay, for a while.
Yeah, look at me. So it's
One more time. Hi, Glenn. Show me something about your Minecraft you created.
yeah, look at me. So it's you. This is my daddy. So he's my protector. I have an ice skate. I have people. This is my dragon portal and the ender dragon. Yeah, you can watch at the end. So I click it. So if I click the button, open, and here we are. It's my 8 gem. So yeah. So
Good morning.
yeah. So we'll go to the next one. I need to go back where I belong to.
So that's it. No, it's just a clip of how amazing Minecraft Education Edition to our learners. I'm so excited because my daughter is just 7 years old, and she was able to build her virtual world 10 server or 10 virtual worlds. And I was so amazed because she was able to navigate and master all there's a guide, of course, in the side. You can see there, but she was able to master it already. Okay, so that's the power of game-based learning. All right. So another one, Yes, this one is the flip grid. Of course, this is still inside Teams. Okay, so but I'm taking a screenshot closer for flip grid because you can get real time or feedback from Flipgrid. This is a video platform for feedbacking, or you can also allow your students to demonstrate a skill like this one. So, and you can give her score, and you can also write your feedback. And here's an example video for that one. For what?
Ilagay nito na ideal as a pointer. That's no real-time finish done.
All right. So I hope you were able to hear the sound and you enjoyed the video clip of my student. So guys, if you will try using that tool to assess your student, that could be great because they are in a safe space and safe environment. All right. So another one that we can use during this pandemic. This is so very easy and it's so very friendly, user friendly. So, do you believe if I will tell you that a teacher or a student can create a website in just 1, 2, 3? So, particularly in this application. All right. So this application we call it the Office Way. So Office Way will make an instant online presentation of your reports, digital storytelling, e-portfolio, anything. Like for this example from the students of STEC, elementary school. So if we will click on that one, it will direct us to a link. I will try. And it will open a website-like presentation of this lesson from the students. I think this is for assessing the students' learning insight. This is for the learning insight after a day's discussion of their lesson. Okay, for a while, I think it's still opening. I will try to share it again. I still have, yes, because I'm sharing it through my PowerPoint. I will share it. I will share my screen to that particular link so that you can watch it there. Okay. All right. So it's still loading, and there you go. Microsoft Sway. All right. Let's just wait for a while. There you go. All right. So it's very interactive, and yes, you can just scroll it here to the side, or you want it going down or going to the right, like this one. Okay, so you can embed here, you can insert video, PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and Power. This is the beauty of Microsoft Sway. Okay, and there is a video here attached by the student, and if you're going to click this one, it will play here. It will not go to another tab in order for you to watch that video. All right, so that's the beauty of Office Way. There you go. So it's playing now. Okay? All right. There you go. So I will now go back to my
Science Grade 5, Quarter 4, Module 1. Describe how rocks turn into soil. After going
All right. So I think that's it. So I will share another. I will share my screen, my PowerPoint again. All right. There you go. Okay. Okay. So another example and another example of the students' output. And there you go. So done with the swaying. I will now go to the last example. I cannot present all of the outputs. All right, or the what we call the digital assessment tool during this pandemic. This is the last one, and it's very familiar. We're using it in webinars, trainings. We call this one Kahoot. All right, so Kahoot. So I will not show you this one already, but you can use Kahoot for your formative assessment. All right, this is very interactive application as well. All right, and my students and even teachers who are participating in a webinar or in a training, they are enjoying Kahoot. All right, so especially in our My Tech Talk webinar this afternoon. And I would like also to share to the viewers and participants right now our innovation in the division of Lapu-Lapu City, and we call this one the offline module application. Offline module application, from the word itself, offline. So the thing that I have shared to you a while ago are online. So you might be asking right now there in the comment section, sir, all of those applications are internet based. All right, so don't worry. We address this issue of internet connectivity. So that's why this offline module application was born. So how does it work? So it works like this. So you will just uh, share it through Bluetooth or share it and then install it in your cell phone. I can also give you the link for you to try it in your cell phone. No, so you download the installer and install it in your Android phone. All right. It's not yet available in iOS. However, we're planning it in the future. And this is not yet more interactive. Rather, it's just a tool for teaching and learning. No, for the assessment, okay. So this one, by the way, it was featured several times in our local news in JMA Kapuso. Featured in that segment where we are solving this issue on our distance learning. Okay, so how does it helps our students? It does not help only our students, also our teachers and parents. You know what? I think I still have uh, yes, a few minutes, but I will share this anyway. It saves a lot of trees. Why? Because aside from internet connection issue being addressed by this offline module app, it also saves a lot of trees. Why? Because a teacher will no longer print a lot of module or the SLM self-learning modules for the students because students can access the SLM using their cell phones. All right, so offline, you don't need to connect in the internet. Another thing, it saves a lot of time for the teachers to monitor the students instead of printing those modules, and time for parents instead of going to school to get the modules, time to precious time in the family, in the work, not go under time of absent from the work, but can have no save a lot of precious time, and also for security and safety health reason. No? So you will not be exposed a lot of times going back and forth to the school. So there will be a few number of people who will come to school. All right, as well as for the teachers. So there is one teacher who said, "Sir, it saves my love life." Because that teacher was so busy and she was not able to give quality time for her loved one and loved ones. All right, so this app helps reduce in the production of modules. In other words, it saves a lot of trees. Again, it goes paperless. and it addresses the internet connectivity issue since it is offline. So we're so happy to introduce this one, and we're so happy to share it to everyone nationwide. If you want to adopt this one, our division is very willing to help anyone who wants to do offline module application. So this, I will share feedback from a parent about using Office 365 Microsoft Teams. I hope you can hear it properly.
Distance learning, synchronous learning via Microsoft Teams. So the classes has really been very interactive despite the virtual setting. As a science school, they were still able to pull off experiments like rubber egg, do some PowerPoint presentations online, create videos, create interactive games via Kahoot, and many more. Plus, the class being in their school uniform has sustained that level of competitiveness, which STEC has really been known of. So, congratulations once again.
All right, that is Mrs. Sabihon of STEC, parent of Dr. William Pastrano. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation, everyone. And how to be you po, that question earlier. How to be you po, Sir Glenny. So this is the answer. How to be me? There you go, guys. Be part of those who make difference in the lives of our teacher and student. So let's empower more educators in using technology for better teaching and learning, and be one of us, the Microsoft Education Ambassadors of the Philippines. So this is open right now, and you can register using that link below. You have there, register now, bit.ly/DepEdMeya orientation. So that is the first step. Join the orientation and be one of us. And how to be me? And that's the way. Only by God's grace that we can do that one. And here's the link that you are asking me about. Sir, how to activate my student account? Because this month is the rollout of all the learners Office 365 account. So kindly take a screenshot, or maybe we can share it in our screen comment section. Okay, take a screenshot and grab it. You can grab this link in our comment section. I will share it to you. I think I can do this. I still have 1 minute more. There you go. So send it already. And for the training code, everyone, the training code, just create an account, education.microsoft.com, and you will receive a badge and international certificate from Microsoft Education Community. All right, so those are the codes in your screen. Can you take a screenshot, or I think it's already in the, can you see that below? In the, that's what we call that one, the ticker. All right, so take a screenshot and then redeem the code and certificate. So you can also access tutorial videos in our YouTube channel, the ICT TV. Okay, if you can see there, the titles, there's a lot of tutorial session on how to create video using PowerPoint, Microsoft 365 webinar, recorded sessions. There you go. So there's a lot of tutorial videos we have created with my team, the Office 365 Rangers. So I will leave you with this saying. So how much better is it to get wisdom than gold? And how to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver. That's the silver lining in our story today in Proverbs 16:16. Though this pandemic closes a lot of doors, however, it opens another. The COVID-19 cases are dramatically increasing, and right now a lot of places are going in ECQ, GCQ. But teachers and students digital literacy are also rising exponentially. Imagine this. Teachers and students become vloggers. Teacher transform into TV and radio broadcasters, DJs and announcers, while parents learn some teaching skills while at home. And thanks to technology, it allows us to do all these things 24/7. And even this Saturday, we're doing it here. Again, this pandemic is not a hindrance for education to continue, but an opportunity to adapt, create, and innovate. Thank you and good day.
Hello, Sir Glenny. Thank you very much po for sharing your practices there sa Lapu-Lapu. At marami rin po nagte-thank you sa ating mga viewers dito. Sabi, thanks po, Sir Glenny, for sharing. Congrats po by Teacher Liberty Carrion. Thank you, Sir. Hashtag TechTalks by Teacher Rosalme Alcalaquizon. Sabi rin, Sir, ni Teacher Amir. Thanks for teaching us, Sir. At syempre, marami rin pong nagtatanong, Sir, kindly share what to install in order to use the offline module application. So, thank you po. Marami
Mhm.
ang nagtatanong at sobrang curious dun sa shinare nyo na offline module
All
application.
right. No problem po, Teacher Zari and Teacher Mardy. I will share the link here in the comment section. Yes po, that's very sure. We have already come up with the fourth quarter SLM, offline module application for the fourth quarter. So the link is not yet released right now. However, I have the first, second, and third quarter. So maybe they can try that one out because we are still we cannot still have the face-to-face this coming school year. And it's very sure that we will still use the offline module application, and it's already all in because the fourth quarter is done. So we have already the full package, the first, second, third, and fourth. So we will be glad to help everyone in the country needing this offline module app.
Ayan. At napakabuti naman din, sir, dahil meron tayong hashtag mga team replay. So kung hindi nyo man po napanood si Teacher Glenny, si Sir Glenny ngayon, ang napakagaling na si Teacher Glenny, wag po kayong mag-alala pa. Pwede nyong balikan dahil meron tayong mga replay videos na pwede nyong mapanood dito sa YouTube, sa Facebook, at lalong-lalo na sa inyong, sa learning, sa DepEd training learning niya na
Hmm,
LMS. Ayan. So, Teacher
sure.
Zari, may mga katanungan ka ba para kay Sir Glenny?
Yes, Sir Glenny, meron pong isang katanungan akong na-receive from one of our viewers today. So sabi niya dito, sir, hindi naman daw po mawawala ang doubts natin, lalo mga educators na nasanay sa face-to-face classroom setup, tama po ba? Lalo na sa virtual assessment, correct? Pero hindi din po mawawala yung mga magagandang dulot din po nito, lalo sa ating mga educators, right, sir? So as an educator daw po, from your experience, what are the advantages you found in using virtual assessment? Ayun, sir,
Okay,
ang
so
kanyang katanungan.
yan po. So kagaya nga ng nasabi ko, very wonderful, no? Yung pagiging before, I would just like to recall, yung virtual assessment o yung paggamit ng internet o yung website or yung platform online is just an alternative before. Right now, it's already the main thing. All right? So, noon, parang ginagawa lang optional at napapaano pa yung iba, napapaayaw. Subalit ngayon, no choice. We have to embrace at yun nga, the one thing that one benefit that this pandemic brought to us, yun nga sinabi ko nga, it converts us, transform teachers to become digitally literate and even transform our student teachers to become vloggers. Another thing, broadcasters, radio and TV broadcasters. And for the assessment part, yes, grabe, no? Aside from the skills learned, napapabilis pa yung pag-assess mo sa bata. Yes, through technology, ang bilis ng pag-track, pag-monitor at pagbigay ng feedback real time. Hindi kagaya ng paper and pen, hintayin mo pa isang week para ma-check mo lahat.
Totoo,
Ngayon
sir.
may mga apps na, no, may mga apps na yung kagaya na lang nung sa OneNote, no, na hayaan mo siyang magbasa doon. All right. Pakinggan mo yung essay niya or yung feedback niya para yon. Yan po.
Alright. Thank you, Sir, Sir Glenny. Lalo, ay dadagdag ko lang din po, no, from your point of view din. Isa din yun sa nakikita kong parang advantage nito. Parang kung environment friendly ka, wala ka nang magagamit pang more paper, di ba, sir? Para lang magpasa na answer keys. So, I
Yes,
think
yes.
that's a good one din na pwede natin tignan na as an advantage for using virtual assessment. And also, sir, naisip ko lang din, in your own opinion din po, since nabanggit nyo na before nagiging option na ang virtual assessment, no? So, sa palagay po ninyo rin, pwede pa rin natin itong ma-utilize even if we go back to face-to-face setting again?
Yes po, the new normal will become the normal. Something like
Okay.
that. Yes po. This is already the narrative of a lot of educators who are practicing this online distance learning. It cannot be taken away already. It's already built in the system of our teachers and learners. Kasi dito tayo parang napabilis lang. Nahuli tayo ng 20 years sa ibang bansa. Pero dahil ni pandemic, thank God, for this side, on this side of the coin, dahil napabilis po yung ating advancement po ng paggamit ng technology. Yon.
All right. Thank you very much, Sir Glenny, for your added thoughts. Miss Marty, you have something to say?
Agree ako dyan sa inyo, Sir Glenny, na dahil because of this pandemic, talagang bumilis yung digital transformation natin. Gaya nga nung mga na-share ni Sir Paul, di ba, ng mga nakaraang tech talks natin, na talagang sumabay tayo kahit na marami tayong medyo kakulangan, pero hindi yon naging hadlang para yung mga guro natin, yung mga kaguruan natin sa iba't ibang panig ng Pilipinas ay makisabay kung ano yung pangangailangan ng mga estudyante. Kaya talagang yung passion ng ating mga guro, talagang sobrang saludo po ako sa inyo dahil gaano man kahirap ay talagang ginagawa nyo ang lahat para lang po maipagpatuloy ang pagtuturo nyo sa ating mga estudyante. So,
True
Sir
mismo.
Glenny, bigla ko lang din naisip because of yung sa sinabi nyo, sir. So, syempre, bigla tayong nag-step up, di ba, as educators. So, tayo bilang educators, nagkaroon tayo ng mga trainings, ng mga workshops para po dun sa mga digital tools and applications na kakailanganin natin para sa ating pagtuturo. So, paano naman po nyo in-empower or in-enable yung mga students nyo po and even the parents sa paggamit ng online and digital platform? Kasi syempre, di ba, kung tayo nga po mga teachers, kailangan din po natin. So kayo po, as an educator, so paano nyo po tinulungan or in-empower, in-enable yung mga parents and students?
Yes po, kagaya na po ng ginagawa natin sa mga guro, nagkaroon po tayo ng tinatawag na orientation. Prior to this new normal education, nagkaroon po tayo, nandyan yan sa DepEd order, nung sinabi ko kanina yung DepEd order number 31 series of 2020. Nandun po, nakalagay sa DepEd Learning Continuity Plan. Nagkaroon po kami dito, that's nationwide, lahat po. Inaaral talaga, ginawa talaga, pinaaral talaga sa parents, yung meron tayong Facebook Live kumustahan. O, yun, nagkukumustahan tayo, guro, magulang, stakeholders, at mga bata. At we introduce the selected or modality of the particular school. So during our time, we have the modular and the online distance learning. So we introduce the particular tool. Ito yung gagamitin ng school. So paano ba ito gagamitin? O ito. So merong tutorial. Tapos, yung tutorial naman, of course, naka-record yun. So, yun. Yung mga hindi naka-attend, pinanood nila. Yung mga kailangan ng walang internet, binigyan ng USB or CD, parang ganon. Okay? Or may mga pop sheets na naka-infographics na siya na masusundan lang nila talaga. Alright? So by all means, okay? Para lang matuto at nakasabay naman yung kagaya ng mga guro at magulang. I think it's in the blood of the Filipino people. Madali tayong mag-adapt, mag-adjust, parang gano'n, no? Very resilient yung Filipino spirit.
Ayan. Thank you, Sir Glenny. At dahil po dyan, meron po tayo nakuhang question dito sa ating comments box. Tanong po to ni Teacher Dietrich Asuncion LPT. Sabi niya, Sir, question po, from the student's perspective, madalas po kasi ang issue po ng students ay yung lack of data. Malakas po ba ang konsumo ng data nila when using Microsoft Office apps? Salamat po.
Ito po yung unang in-address ko nung nag-orientation ako sa mga bata. I also give them you provide kung sa learning, you provide references o yung scaffolds. Dito naman ngayon sa pandemic, you provide particular yung mga promo na load, yung parang gano'n. Ito yung ginagamit ko ngayon. I-advertise ko na. Sabi ko, I am using yung sa GCash kasi nauso na yung GCash. Pa-online lahat bayad, pa-online lahat ng pa-load. So I will not go out anymore because I have my GCash. Parang gano'n. So I'm using my Go Extra 90. Isang week na yan. Isang week? Ilang ba yan? Gigabytes? That's 8 gigabyte already. at napapawaw sila dahil you will not, imagine this, pag pupunta, mas nakaka-advantage nga kasi kapag pupunta ka ng school, magbaon ka ng 50 pesos, for example, or 20 pesos a day. Times 5, that's 100. Or for 50, malakihan na yan. May baon pang pera, may baon pang ano. Pag ginawa ko nga, para malaman nila yung advantages ng magkano yung gagastusin. In terms of load po, pag load kayo, meron pong promo. Yung Go Extra 50 or Go 50, Go 90, parang ganun po. Isang week, yung pinapaload ko, yung ginagamit ko nga sa bahay. At yung MS Office po, hindi po talaga siya mabigat. Talagang magaan po siya mag-consume ng data at sa device po, very friendly. Yung ang mga issue na sa Microsoft, sabi nga, mabigat daw, malaki yung kakainin ng data. Meron pong comparative analysis doon. Meron pong senior doon na ito yon si conference app, ito yung laki ng kain niya, ito tsaka si Teams ang nasa ibaba. And I experienced that one. No, mawala man yung video, nandun pa rin yung audio na napapakinggan ko yung speaker. Yun po yung advantage ng paggamit ng Office 365.
Ayan. So, thank you very much po, Sir Glenny. And sabi nga po dito sa ating comments box, sabi ni Teacher Pamela De Castro, congratulations po, Sir Glenny. Your topic is truly relevant in the new normal of education. So, thank you po, Sir. More power. So, sobrang punong-puno, umuulan po ng pasasalamat sa inyo dahil sobra po silang na-inspire at sobra po silang madaming natutunan. Sabi nga rin po dito ni Teacher Paul Dennis Tabanao, thanks a lot, Sir Glenny. That was so informative. So marami po talaga kayong na-share ngayong umaga sa ating po mga educators and learners at sa lahat po ng viewers.
To God be the glory po, Teacher Mardy and Teacher Zari.
Thank you rin po, Sir Glenny. To God be the glory po.
Amen.
Amen. Ayan. So, Sir Glenny, ngayon po, magbababay po muna kami for now. Pero don't worry, later tatawagin po namin ulit kayo dahil hindi pa po tapos ang pasasalamat namin sa inyo. So, kita-kits po ulit tayo mamaya, Sir Glenny.
Sige po.
Later, sir.
Ayan. So, Teacher Zari.
Alright, Miss Mardy, mag-move on na tayo from Sir Glenny. Ngayon, teacher, syempre hindi mawawala ang inyong time to shine. Magkakaroon tayo ng Menti segment ngayon, menti.com. Of course, hindi mawawala yan. Dapat maririnig din namin ang pulso ninyo about sa ating discussion for today's session. 'Di ba? So again, teachers, while waiting for our screen, at makita natin ang ating Mentimeter, you can just go to mentimeter.com or menti.com. Okay? And then later on, we will show you the code for our Menti para naman makapagbigay kayo ng inyong thoughts, ng inyong mga ideas, di ba? Nag-share tayo, give and take tayo dito, teachers and other viewers natin dyan, students and even our parents. Yes, Miss
Teacher Zari, ano ba yung dapat na i-share natin ngayong araw na to? Ano ba yung mga pag-iisipan natin or pag-share natin para sa ating Menti this morning?
Ayan, para sa ating Menti for this morning, teachers, you share us yung mga best practices ninyo in regards to digital assessments. Kung meron kayo dyan ng mga techniques, mga practices na nagagawa ninyo and you really do find it effective, yung mga hindi pa po nababanggit kanina ng ating first speaker, share it with the crowd para naman makatulong tayo sa kanila, lalo na yung mga teachers natin na struggling pa din in giving out their assessment virtually. Siyempre, 'di ba? Tulungan tayo dito, bayanihan, Pilipino 'di ba, Miss Mardy?
Tama. Tsaka kasi 'di ba, sabi nga natin dito sa TechTalks, hindi lang individual ang learning. We are a community of learners. So share tayo ng mga insights dahil sa bawat insights na i-share ng bawat isa sa atin, mas dumadami at mas lumalaki ang perspective natin sa ating pagtuturo. So syempre tayo mga teachers, 'di ba? Yan ang gusto natin. Always for the better para sa ating mga estudyante at para na rin sa ating mga strategies at sa ating professional growth and development. So again, yung mga best practices po natin dyan sa ating digital assessments, ano po yung mga ginagawa nyo para matulungan yung ating mga estudyante or para matulungan din po natin ngayon ng ating mga co-teachers. Ano po ba yung mga best practices na pwede po nating magawa ngayong virtual ang ating classes? Ikaw ba, Teacher Zari? Habang
Yes, Miss
nag-aantay
Mardy.
tayo ng sagot, ano ba yung mga sa tingin mong best practices in terms of digital assessments?
Best practices. Ako ano lang 'to, from the bottom of my mind lang kasi hindi ako nakakapag gawa ng as in classroom setup na assessment for students, no? So siguro maganda yung Kahoot. Kasi ngayon, yun yung nagagamit ko as an assessment lalo na sa participants namin when we do our trainings. And like what Sir Glenny mentioned a while ago, nagagamit din ng Kahoot yun. Lalo na yung parent, 'di ba, na nagbigay ng kanyang a comment in regards towards sa kanilang online class setup nila ngayon, yung Kahoot nabanggit niya. So, ibig sabihin, iba din talaga yung impact ng Kahoot interactive quizzes, 'di ba? O ayan, teachers, best practice digital assessment. Share your thoughts and ideas po. Just go to www.menti.com and use the code 2827104. Ayan. So, we will wait for your answers, your thoughts, your 2 cents, teachers naman yan, para ma-share natin sa ating community of learners. How about you, Miss Mardy? Di ba, you're a preschool teacher. You usually handle younger students. Sa palagay mo, ikaw, if you were in a classroom setup and you do the online class para sa mga younger students, ano kaya yung mga possible practices na ibibigay mo sa kanila for, digital assessments or virtual assessments natin?
Siguro kasama na rin dun sa shinare kanina ni Sir Glenny kasi 'di ba Microsoft Teams. Kasi sa Microsoft Teams meron yung tinatawag na immersive reader. So dun sa immersive reader, meron din yung mga parang digital Pictionary siya. So, as an assessment, so pwede kong ilagay dun yung mga words, tapos i-identify with kung ano yung word na yon, tapos i-verify natin kung ano yung meaning ng word na yon. So, yun yung isang naisip ko. And also yung whiteboard. So, pwede rin nating ma-utilize yun kasi pwede dong maglagay ng mga pictures, ng mga words. So, pwedeng, i-type ng bata or ganyan, ng mga learners natin.
Doodle, no, Miss
Or
Mardy?
identifying the letters gamit yung keyboard, ganyan. Or pwede rin sila mismo yung magsulat if they have yung pen para mas madali para sa kanila. Ayan.
So, how about naman you, teachers? Share nyo naman po yung best practices nyo dyan. Share naman po kayo dyan. We are still waiting for your thoughts and
Yes.
ideas.
Oo nga eh. Siguro sa sobrang lalim ng pag-iisip nila about dun sa best practices kasi syempre 'di ba sobrang dami na nang ginawa nila for the 1 year. So sobrang dami, ang hirap na rin talagang pumili ng mga best practices. So but don't worry, just continue po sa pag-share sa amin once na may naisip na kayo ng mga best practices para sa ating digital assessment. Kasi open lang po 'yan and anytime na magkaroon tayo dyan ng answers, i-share po namin yan sa inyo. So, don't worry. So, share lang po kayo. Ayan, nagsilabasan na ang ating
Ayan
mga best practices.
O, diba? Isang bulto. Buhos, Miss Mardy.
Nagulat
buhos,
ako doon. Biglang wow. Parang biglang wow, ito na pala ang assessment. Okay, so go Teacher Zari. Share na natin ito. Nagulat ako doon.
So, basahin na natin isa-isang thoughts ng ating mga educators. So, sabi dito, meron dito mga timed quizzes, may mga word wall, integrative assessment, Kahoot for reviews, yan, may mga sumasayaw sa likod. Ayos yan. I use Socrative.com for formative and sometimes summative assessment. Real-time kasi ang result. Ayan, teachers, meron na nabigay na isang resource ng resources si teacher sa atin. Meron din using Google Forms. Meron din dito. Bago sa akin to, Miss Mardy, educandy.com. Matatamis na educational materials ata nandito. Okay. Using quizzes.com. Again, it's new to me. And Google Forms. Meron dito, I usually use mga online quizzes tulad ng quizzes. Super saya talaga ng mga bata. Pati mga nanay na titrill, di ba? Interactive. Umabot sa mga mother natin ang thrill at excitement ng quizzes na yan. Ay, natry ko nga yan. Pwede po tayo mag-scroll down?
Yes, pa-scroll down
Miss
naman po para mabasa pa natin yung ibang mga
ayan.
i-shinare.
Sige, ikaw naman, Miss Mardy. Take turns
Ayan, sabi
tayo.
dito, students can create visual materials using Canva, Microsoft
Mhm.
Forms. Meron din dito Jamboard. So, scroll down pa po para makita po natin. Ayan, sabi dun sa quizzes, parang ano to sikat Sabi dito, the students can be ranked based on their scores with background music and timer.
Ay,
So, sige pa po, paki-scroll pa po para po mabasa pa po natin yung iba pa pong mga best practices natin dyan.
Gusto ko yung may pa-background music si
Kaya
quizzes.
nga eh. Tsaka nakaka-hype kasi siya 'di ba 'pag ano parang, "Yes, I want to
Oh,
join." Parang gano'n
sabagay.
yung nafe-feel mo
Mm,
eh.
mm. Lalo na kung mga K-pop pa yung mga background music niya kung possible, 'di ba?
Ay,
Ewan ko
oo
na
nga
lang.
po eh. Ayan. So, ayan. So, please paki-scroll. Ang dami na pong nagse-share. So, gusto ko pa pong basahin yung iba pa pong mga sumasagot.
Slide
Hello,
manager,
slide manager,
pa-scroll down po.
pa-scroll naman po diyan.
Ayan.
Ayan. Ayan. Sir, wait lang po. Sabi dito, for us, we are using LMS for the students to answer worksheets and use YouTube and sometimes Google Drive if they
Oh,
will be submitting recorded videos. We may also use same third-party apps or sites if we want to have assessments while having classes virtually. Tapos, ano pa po, word wall.
wow.
Okay, annotation using the Zoom app. The kids enjoy writing on their screen. Yung parang
Oh,
sinasabi kong na whiteboard. So, ano pa
mm.
po? Paki-scroll pa po. Para po mabasa pa po natin,
Ayan.
ayan. Using Pear Deck, oy maganda rin 'yan.
Weird.
Plagiarism Checker and Grammarly.com. So 'yan para sa mga English naman na mga submissions or assessments. Meron Kahoot, tapos eto Mentimeter, may gumagamit din ng Mentimeter.
At
TikTok
Miss
videos
Mardy, TikTok videos.
for their performance tasks. Tapos
Wow.
meron din using Facebook assessment. So yung Facebook
Oh,
assessment, medyo nakaka-curious 'yun 'no, kung paano
oo
nga
nga.
ba 'yun. Edmodo app, meron din. So, paki-scroll pa po, dumadami pa po sila. See yan. Yan, meron din
Ayan.
gumagamit ng Nearpod as third-party app. Ayan, and
Nearpod. Teka,
yan. Pero parang yung
makapag-shutdown nga.
pinaka sikat dito, yung usual ko nakikita, yung mga forms, mga word wall, ganyan.
Kahoot.
MS Word reflection papers and easy essay is real. Ayan, gusto ko rin yun. Tama naman yan. May nagsabi nga dito, quizzes versus Kahoot, ultimate
Oh,
battle. Oh, di ba?
ay.
Wala naman pong battle in terms
Pinagano
of
pa eh.
digital assessments. Lahat naman po yan, kung saan po kayo komportable and kung saan nyo
Totoo.
po yung feel na talagang nagkiklik para sa inyong mga students, doon po tayo.
O
Dito
kaya
po wala
gamitin
pong
niyo pareha.
battle-battle.
Totoo.
Oo.
Gamitin
Ayan.
para may varied kayo, para hindi naman sila ma-bored sa Kahoot lang or sa quizzes lang, 'di ba?
Oo.
Maganda
Para
may
may
various,
variation.
oo, yon, varied options. Ayan, maraming salamat po sa inyong mga thoughts, ideas. Ayan, panigurado may iilan po sa ating mga viewers ngayon na nakarinig, nakakuha ng mga bago ditong mga resources para sa mga digital assessments nila. Thank you very much. Tuloy nyo lang po ang pagsisend ng inyong ideas kung meron pa po. Nako, welcome na welcome pa rin po yan sa ating Mentimeter. At kung hindi pa po kayo nagsawa sa Mentimeter, pwede rin po sa comment box natin para makita din naman po nung ating mga team replay dyan. 'Di ba,
Ayan.
Miss Mardy?
Oo, actually may nag-share nga dito something na wala dun sa ating best
Oh,
practices na Mentimeter. Sabi ni Teacher
ano
Cecilia
yan?
Clemente, sabi niya, Wheel of Names for recitation. Why not?
Oh,
Tama naman yan. Wheel of Names.
hindi na
Oo,
index cards si
hindi
teacher.
na yung nakakatakot na shuffle ng index
Oo.
cards. Wheel of
Ngayon
Names
pag
na.
ruleta na ang gamit nila teacher, oh, 'di ba? Umikot na sa
Talagang,
ruleta.
talagang level up na ang ating mga assessment practices.
True. Ayan na, Miss Mardy. Ano pa ba? Meron pa ba tayo diyan mga meron dito pala akong nakita lang. Sabi pala dito ni um Teacher Charity Lamuas, I'm grateful for this opportunity to be equipped with such knowledge and information. More power, Tech Talks. At meron pa nga mga nagpapa-shoutout dito. Sabi ni Teacher Helen, watching from Cebu, pa-shoutout po kay Teacher Maria Luisa Velarico. Ayan. At kay Maria Carmela Melad, sabi niya, this is very nice and informative. Thank you, sir. Ayan. Okay. So, here we go. Miss Marty, ikaw ba? Meron ko ba dyan mga pa-shoutout dyan? Mga namataang nagpapa-shoutout?
Dito, meron sabi dito si Teacher Rudelin, good morning, watching from Bayabas Trade High School of Bayabas, Ubay, Bohol. And sabi Teacher Safarina Lianes, watching from Tablac, ES. Ayan. So, good morning po sa
Ayan.
inyong lahat.
Good morning na good morning po sa inyong lahat. Ayan, I think Teacher Mardy, ready na sila para naman sa ating second set ng ating discussion. Pakilala na po siguro natin ang ating second speaker para ngayong umaga.
Sure naman, Teacher Zari. So, para sa ating second po na speaker, ano na siya, naging speaker na siya natin. So, dati, shinare niya sa atin Power Apps. So, ngayon naman, ang discussion niya ay it's about how to use Power Automate in digital assessment. So, para ibahagi muli ang kanyang nalalaman tungkol sa field of technology. Again, a member of JCI Manila, a business and technology consultant, one of the people behind the implementation of Starbucks card using Dynamics, Philippine Red Cross Dynamics deployment, and AIM on-premise to cloud Office 365 migration, a technopreneur, CEO of Active Collab Inc. Let us call on Mr. Paul Soliman, the first Microsoft MVP or most valuable professional for business applications in the Philippines. Sir Paul.
Sir Paul, good morning po.
Yes.
Hello.
So Sir Paul, may nagsabi dito sa ating chatbox, Starbucks. Parang na-curious sila. Ano ba yun, Starbucks?
Yeah, we started the Starbucks card and I was in Rustan Coffee. So, of course, we know before kasi I think it was, I don't know, like 2013. Wala pa yung Starbucks card. Yung loyalty nila, di ba? When you buy something.
Okay po.
Yeah, so the card itself, we conceptualized it and I was the first one who, implemented. Of course, ngayon marami ng improvement kasi matagal na akong nag-resign, no? But, yeah, so those are, some projects that started my career in business application.
Ayan. So kung meron pa po kayo ng 2013 version ng Starbucks card, ayan, si Sir Paul Soliman pa po ang gumawa niyan. So keepsake na keepsake yan. Dahil ngayon, live na live po ngayong umaga, ang CEO ng Active Collab. Sir Paul, take it away.
Thank you. Okay. Maraming salamat. Good morning, team. I am so glad that I was able to, to still be here. Thank you again, Microsoft, Ms. Grace, Francis, and the DepEd unit, EduTech unit for inviting me here again. As I mentioned last week, it's really a good avenue to share passion, and education, sector or industry is really, close to my heart because I want to really infuse a new realm of in a way knowledge or added knowledge, especially in technology for on our curriculum, no? But of course, it's really hard to change it. But at the end of the day, this kind of platform opening a new mindset and mentality for or as we call it in a way information for all of our teachers, educators, and students as well. I think last if I'm not mistaken, last Friday or Thursday, there is this community of developers that was also I was also invited to talk, and most of the attendees are students. So I'm super glad that we have this platform already because of what happened, diba? Because of pandemic, we have these avenues, ang dami niyan, na we can share our passion and at the same time helping community building. For me, this is community building, no? Part of community building, especially. So I really love this invitations, these talks, by the way. All right. So again, I'm Paul Soliman. So I'm a Microsoft MVP for business application. So I'm also running two businesses, Hacktive and Raven. So you can follow me on LinkedIn and Twitter. For this morning, I discussed about power ups last time, and I think I've created a database, no, and showed you how to in a minute how to create an app. Now, before I go to and teach you how to create the flow or the workflow, automated workflow that you don't really need to write a single line of code. And even this way, I did not practice what I'm gonna show you because I want to show you that it's easy, that I don't need to really, in a way, learn how to code or learn the tech itself so deep for you to be able to create an automated flow, let's say an enrollment system, a grading system, etc. So I'm gonna show that today. All right. So this one, before I go to my main topic itself, I just want you to understand that there is such thing that we call automate or automation. So in a way, I'm gonna like just want to share my own meaning of automation to you, since I'm in the industry for like about 11 years, and I saw something in a way wrong of doing automating or automating things, no? So merong tama, merong mali in terms of automation, and I'm gonna be unpacking this whole um information to you, no, in this talk. So why automate? So number one, because your manual organizational process is not working. So meaning, when we say organizational, it can be an institution or a school, an NGO, a company, a team, whichever, no? Kung ano man yung pumasok sa isip nyo that does, that, na merong group of course, people that is managing process 1 hanggang process 3. So, when we say not working, of course, kanina nga, 'di ba, sabi nung first speaker natin is it still have papers meaning papers can take how long for me to ask, let's say gusto kong magpa-procure ng laptop na bago. If you're talking about paper and the approver is absent, the most of the problem is on yung wala yung approver, and kunyari nagbakasyon or something like that. Paper, matitenga lang yan sa desk, no? Let's say, si principal, nag-vacation, or may sakit, etc. The problem with that is matitenga lang yung mga paper sa desk. And of course, if we need to have an emergency purchase of a laptop, because say for example, we will have an event, or not even a laptop, let's say for example, a budget for a school event that will happen next 2 days, no? So those are kind of manual processes that we can, kasi usually the process is I will create my purchase request, I will send it to the purchasing team, then that purchasing team dun sa ibang department, no, it will be sent to the dean of the school or even the principal sometimes. So what happened there, or the president of the school, what happened there is it will take 3 steps before you go, no, to the approver. And the approver, of course, needs to think if he or she needs to approve that particular paper, since I need the data. If of course I'm running a company, if my employee, my teammate gusto nila magpa-approve, I need to check the data kung ano ba yung pinapa-approve nila, right? So because your manual organizational process is not working, then you need to automate. Okay? Not automating costs you money already. In fact, this is not only applicable for businesses but also for schools. No? So the problem is sometimes, again, as I mentioned, automation, the truth is it will really diminish the people aspect. Okay? I'm sorry that I've been sharing this, but that's the real truth. It's better for me to share the truth, diba? Open rebuke, all right, than the case of an enemy, something like that. So that's why we have Power Platform. I'm gonna be discussing that. But what I'm saying is, people or organization automate things because sometimes they want to really cut people costs or salaries, no? It's very, I'm not inventing this, it's there already. I mean, you can see what's happening of talagang like yung mga, let's say, operator ng machines or something, nadi-disrupt yan. And even like taxi companies, diba, when Uber and Grab came, here in the Philippines, it was disrupted. Of course, it's not, hindi kasalanan, no? We cannot blame Uber or Grab when it comes to, automating this kind of industry. Nakaisip sila eh. Pero the problem relies, talaga dun sa taxi company because they did not innovate, right? My topic last time was, adapting the technology. It's the same thing here. I'm always gonna, in every talk that I was, invited, etc. I'm always discussing that. So if you're not gonna embrace technology, all right, number one, as a person, you can be disrupted. Okay? And good thing, 'di ba, si Sir kanina, yung mga tinuturo niya about sa mga automation or application, that's really the future of work for me, even for educators. We need to adapt on those particular, automating tool for us to be able to not be disrupted. Same as with the school, right? Ngayon, it's costing us money already if we don't, have a digital platform. Kasi how do you now do your operation school? Hindi naman pwede na magpapasok because of this pandemic. So anong gagawin natin? Isasara ba natin yung mga schools natin? Of course not. Of course, because DepEd is so innovative, they have modules, etc., right? But what if not? What if we did not discover this blended learning, etc.? So we will be disrupted. Ang worst case, isasara na lang natin yung education because we can't really go blended learning or distant learning, right? Next is you want speed in your operations. When we say operation in business term, it's really like what's happening on the background, your finance, your accounting, your purchasing supplies, etc. It's same as in the school. In fact, mas mahirap sa school kasi you have also operations for like teaching, classrooms, etc. And nowadays, di ba, because of digital learning, how can you monitor your enrollment? So there's a lot of things that needed to be solved on our institution in terms of process, and that's where automation comes in. Kasi without even automating this, at the end of the day, mabagal, magiging mabagal yung process, not only on digital but also on physical, since it should be integrated with each other. All right, next slide, please. All right, so what is a true automation? Again, as I mentioned, based on my experience, there is really a true automation. No, it's not like kunyari sa school, meron kan test paper. All right, you have test paper, and that test paper would be going to to a teacher, and they will check that, etc. Check. Now you have principal who can validate if the checking is correct. For example, no, I'm not familiar, but for example, and now you will go to parents for them to know that the score of their children are this, pasado, bagsak, etc. Now, if we're gonna automate, okay, we need to, number one, cut the process, or else our automation is futile. Meaning, at the end of the day, if we're just gonna digitalize those things, then we're not saving time in terms of the flow of the information. So if I'm gonna architect that, so technically, yes, you have test paper, all right. It's okay since of course we're not still ready to do online exam. Sometimes talaga test paper yan, pero may ibang school gumagawa na. But what I'm gonna do there is to let the student just upload the exam itself, all right, with their signature, etc. Then I'm gonna create a flow that has an AI that will check the score, and it will give the teacher the final score, so teacher can just review it, not manually, all right, not manually check the written exam that I did, and it will go to principal for approval, automated already, and it will go to the parents. What am I cutting there? I'm cutting the process that the teacher would do manual checking of the exam. So as simple as that. So that's the true automation, rather than sige, paper, send sa email, then teacher will download it, isa-isa, pak, isa-isa, dami download, tapos i-check ko as a teacher. So I'm not cutting the process, I just digitalizing it. It's on PDF file, of course, that's digital, but the way I'm gonna check it, how? I'm gonna convert it to Word. I'm gonna do checking again, scan, or sorry, print, check, then scan pabalik or take picture. So it's really, sometimes those kind of processes, I'm not calling it digital process since it's really not, really helping the school or the teachers as well. So sabi natin talagang trabaho nila yun. Fine. Yeah, that's their work. As a teacher, that's your work. But in a way, as I mentioned, there's a lot for us to learn in this digital world, right? Katulad ng sinabi kanina ni Sir, no? And dun sa parang survey natin kanina sa Menti, di ba? Dami nating sinabi ng mga application. So instead of me focusing on manual tasks, I'd rather than, learn that so I can cut the process, no? Right. What next is it has defined criteria. So, syempre naman guys, pag mag-automate naman tayo, mag-define tayo ng criteria or logic. Meaning, let's say for example, if I'm gonna automate a checking, correction nung exam, or sorry, checking ng exam, I would need to define what is the passing rate, 'di ba? Or if a student, if I saw an erasure, I'm talking about physical paper, taking picture of it and sending it. I'm not talking about digital. Kasi pag Microsoft Forms or let's say Google Forms, automatic na yan pagka sinagot nila. So technically, nag-auto check na yan and it's good. But of course, again, as I mentioned, there are chances pa rin na madaya yan dahil di mo naman alam kung sino yung nagsasagot. Iba pa rin yung test paper, no, na may pirma nila because they're handwritten. Because that those are handwritten and kaya mong i-validate na sila talaga yun because of the sulat, no? Unless may nagtuturo sa kanila. But there's a lot to be solved. What I'm talking about is if you're defining a criteria for that specific process, then it's also that's the true automation. Meaning we can't really, let's say, kasi yung 74 acceptable or 73, sige, pwede na yan, ipasa na natin. No, it's not like that. Because you're not automating it, you still needs to decide, right? And there's no sense of, us overriding those kind of decision if you want to automate. It needs to be super defined that the passing rate is 75. When your student submitted a test and an exam and they got the score of 74, on my automation, it will say that this is really like red or bagsak, right? So next is it should be transforming a process. As I mentioned, if you have 5 processes, it should be 3 na lang, no? So because we're automating it, as simple as that. Okay, so for me that is a true automation. So I'll give you an example. Next slide, please. All right, so this is like a manual process. So I have an Excel file, or let's say for example you ask your students to submit an Excel. I will review it, okay, as a teacher, and I will approve it without even, for me kasi manual pa rin yun even they're sending it via email, as long as you do click, it's still for me manual process, even though it's not paper. Okay, next please. Yan. Sorry, false automated process. So, nag-fill up ka ng Excel file, in-attach mo in an email, ni-review mo yung email and the attachment itself, then in-approve mo siya via email. So again, as I mentioned, you did not automate the process. You just, digitalize it, but at the end of the day, you're still doing manual process. When I say manual, kailangan mo pa rin i-review yan isa-isa, and at the end of the day, kailangan mo pa rin ibalik via email. So imagine mo, matrabaho pa rin yan. Parang i-email mo yung lahat ng students mo, isa-isa, di ba? Or parents, parang approve, check. Dami. That's not automation. I mean, parang as if nag-ano ka pa rin, nag-check ka pa rin via paper or pinadala mo pa rin via Grab yung chinek mo. It's, of course, mas matrabaho yung manual kasi kailangan mong itawag sa Grab or partner yun na nagde-deliver ng mga module, for example. But at the end of the day, you're still doing it manually because you're iniisa-isa mo pa, no? Yung mga students na nag-send, ni-replyan mo, approve. So, those kind of, processes, for me, it's not automation. It's still a manual process in a digital way, but still not automated. All right, next. Okay, so as you can see this, if I fill up an Excel, all right, I cut the email, etc. Okay, so sorry, I cut the checking. Inisa ko na lang siya. Okay, nilagay ko na lang siya sa isang, let's say for example, Power Automate that it will analyze, review, and approve. But at the end of the day, if the student emailed an Excel already or fill up an Excel, that's the manual thing. Okay, but at the end of the day, hindi ko na nilagay yung checking and approving. Automatic, when I analyze it that it's true, it's approved because I put criteria already. So you can see the arrow, tas may criteria. Ibig sabihin yan, of course, as an educator, as a teacher, I know already what is pass or fail or tama, mali, incorrect, correct, etc. So we just need to set that at the very, so at the very at the objective, no, unang-unang objective nung ginagawa natin na automation is to set up all the criteria that it needs to check on that particular forms or Excel. Okay, next slide, please. All right. So again, we know already what is Power Apps. I discussed that last time in SharePoint list. So what I want to do here is for me to be able to in a way mabuo yung kwento or narrative from my last talk is for you to understand what is Power Automate. All right, next slide, please. All right, so what is Power Automate? It's still a democratized tool, di ba? Sabi ko yan last week, I think. This is a tool to connect and design your process in a one single system. Meaning, later, magpapakita ko ng super simple. Don't worry, guys. Hindi ko siya papakomplikaduhin kasi nga, for the sake of time also. But, of course, yan, si Microsoft, it offers training naman in a day, no? Yung mga in a day training namin for you to understand it. But it's a single system, alright? That in fact, napakita ko na yan under Microsoft 365 last 2 weeks ago, no, when I discussed Power SharePoint list and Power Apps. It's a low-code app to automate processes. It can be no-code, meaning wala na kayong isusulat na code. But, of course, when I say low-code, it's more of Excel formula. If you're familiar with Excel formula, like if, di ba? If, walang bata, if lang. If, etc., let's say min, max, something like that, then it can be done using Power Automate. All right? So meaning, yes, merong mga complex na formulas that needed to do. Like, kasi meron kasing hindi talaga masosolve ng drag and drop lang or whatever. But at the end of the day, and it goes to the third point that it's automate task without coding. Meaning, you don't really need to write a single line of code. If there is a complex task that it needs to resolve, all right, you just need to not even write it, use formula. All right, I'm not playing words here, but based on my experience kasi, ganun talaga, you're using a formula. Iba yung write eh. Pag sinabi nating write on coding, you're really in a way creating the syntax. There is a variable, etc., etc. When I say use, in terms of formula, it's like there is a formula already. You don't need to write that. Just go to the reference website or ng Microsoft. Then you will see where to use this. And then doon na yung logic, diba? That we have. So we don't need to write it. Next slide, please. All right. So in a nutshell, Power Automate is again going back. Sorry, to summarize. No. So in a nutshell, Power Automate is a low-code to no-code tool. It can help your processes, all right, to be automated without writing a single line of code. All right, later ma-appreciate nyo pag pinakita ko. Next slide po. Who is Power Automate for? So technically, it's for all industry, not only for school, for retail, for manufacturing. As long as you are willing to learn. Sorry, nilagay ko talaga yan. Mindset yan eh. So, technically, as long as you're willing to learn Power Apps, Power Automate, and all Power Platform tools, then you're welcome to do it. There's no industry, meaning walang specific industry na pwede lang to, not even manufacturing lang. No, it can be inside the school. And I'm gonna show that one scenario or example. Next slide, please. So types of flow. So Okay, just a fact or trivia. So si Power Automate, ang tawag po dyan dati, Flow. Kung matatagal na kayo dito pong gumagamit ng Microsoft 365 sa mga schools nyo. So dati makikita nyo yan, Flow yung tawag. Okay. Now, the tool itself, we called it Power Automate, but there are flows na inside Power Automate. So yun lang yung binago. Ang tawag na natin sa mga processes, flow na. Alright, so we have cloud flows. Cloud flows is something that you create on cloud, and it calls all the cloud all the application inside the cloud platform of Microsoft or even other third-party tool. Outlook, Excel, online, SharePoint lists, forms, etc. So those are cloud flows. Desktop flow, if you're familiar, this is a very good session. I think it's gonna be disrupting the process industry. All right. This is the we called it RPA, right, or robotic process automation. I had the whole session in this one. I think 1 year ago pa, but yeah, I think nasa blog ko naman yan, no. So it's more of like we're automating. Kunyari nagma-manual encode ako, no, sa PC ko, sa desktop. I can automate that without even me going there and just checking it, just typing it. But pero medyo advanced na to, so at least you just know that meron na palang ganyan si Microsoft that we can use. Yes. Well, dito may konting pwede kang gumamit ng code, but at the end of the day, even without coding, you can automate a robot. That's why we call it robotics kasi ang pinagkaiba niya kasi, ang RPA kasi versus dun sa normal flow lang, you can record your steps. If you're familiar with Excel macro, para siyang ganun, but mas malawak kasi even wala ka sa computer mo, once na merong nangyaring event or activity, it will automatically run. Kala mo may multo, no? Usually, parang pag iniwan ko yung RPA, sometimes nakakalimutan ko, nagugulat ako, nag-auto-delete ng file, naghahanap siya ng file, etc. So there's a lot of, pointers on Power Automate. And business process flow, the model-driven apps. So this is more of connected to business apps of Microsoft already. I'm not gonna be discussing that today. So I'm gonna be focusing my time on cloud flows. Next slide, please. All right, and I think this is the demo time. All right, before I go to the demo time, let me check my comments again. All right, so mabilis ba tayo or okay lang ba tayo? So what do you think about the automation? All right, so meron ba dito magko-comment about automation? Siguro later na lang sa Q&A, but yeah, so as usual, so I'm gonna stop my camera and I'm gonna share my screen. So, all right, stopping my camera now, sharing my screen now. All right. Okay. Sige. Gumana itong i-demo ko, no? As I mentioned, this is on the spot. Wala po tayong practice dito for me to be able to really say that, of course, alam ko na to kasi ginagawa ko na to, no? But at the end of the day, for me to be able to really show that Microsoft Office 365 or Power Platform itself is not really hard for you to explore, for you to do trial and error, no? Yun lang yun. So, can you see my screen? I'll go to the StreamYard. Can you see my screen? Meron po ba? Sumasakit na ba yung ulo natin sa mga terminologies ng automation? Right. Okay, I think you can see my screen now. So, I'm gonna start. All right. Same platform, Microsoft 365. If I'm gonna go here, all of the applications are there. So, I'm gonna use three applications: Power Automate, Forms, and SharePoint Online. As I mentioned, binuksan ko na to. SharePoint Online is your database. So technically, whatever I want to store on a single platform, all right, on a single sheets or whatever you want to call that, is gonna be SharePoint list, no? So gagawa ulit ako. Again, as discussed last or 2 weeks ago on dun sa unang nating topic, SharePoint list is your online database. It's like an Excel, but in terms of holding the data, of course, mas marami tayong pwedeng ma-store dito, and at the end of the day, mas mabilis, mas reliable na database for citizen developer na walang alam to use SQL or to code, no? So this is really the database that you need to learn. So gagawa ako. So this is essay database. All right. So create. All right. So ginagawa ko ulit. Again, as I mentioned, you need to design first your backend, no? Para alam nyo kung saan nyo imamatch yung data na makukuha ko later. So this is gonna be the full name of the student. Okay. So mag-create ulit ako. So sabihin ko dito is essay. So diyan ko ilalagay yung sagot nila. Alright? And lalagay ko dito. So may gagawin akong konting workaround, no, para maayos lang. And gagawin ko dito is teachers assessment. So ito yung score, no. So kunyari gusto ko sige. Wag na lang number, mas mahirapan tayo. Siguro choice na lang. Yan. So teachers assessment, no? Okay? Tapos maglalagay tayo dito ng A+. Usually sa essay ganyan diba? So A-. Right, then save. Right, and then lalagyan ko dito ng I think ito lang pwede na para hindi masyadong complicated yung data natin. Again, as I mentioned, this is on the spot. I'm conceptualizing now what I need to, to put on my data. Basta ang goal ko dito is for me to be able to capture and the essay quiz or exam or whatever you want to call that submission of my students. Then I will put that on a database. Then I will inform the parents. No? Okay. So lagay ko lang dito. Let's say parents email. No? Lagyan ko lang to. No? Okay. Sige. So ito, yan yung magiging user interface ng aking teacher, no? But of course, yung student hindi makikita tong essay database kasi para sa inyo lang to eh. Okay? You don't need to have an admin rights to do it. Sorry for that. Let me just close this. Yan ang problema sa sobrang digital na natin. Lahat ng communication channel, no? Nakukontak na tayo. Anyway, so ito yung database ko. Again, full name, essay, teacher's assessment, and parents email. So, ito, teacher lang nakakakita nito. Okay? Now, gagawa naman ako ng form. Why? Ito yung student interface. Kasi nga, gusto kong kumuha ng essay, exam. So, ang gagawin ko is essay exam. So, gagawa lang ako ng kahit form lang, no? Kasi yung grading doon ko na gagawin. Pwede rin kasi dito yung points, pero pag essay kasi medyo mahirap yan eh. Meaning, of course, pag essay, kailangan pambasahin ng teacher yan. So, hindi ko siya lalagyan ng grading dito, but doon ko siya lalagyan on my SharePoint list. Say, essay for Filipino. Q2, mga ganyan-ganyan, di ba? So, instruction, di ba? Parang, please describe Filipino culture. For example, ganyan po, no? And then, mag-a-add lang ako dito ng text. Then, I will say long answer. Then, please describe, no? Filipino culture, for example. Wala po tayong maisip. Again, this is on the spot. So, pinapakita ko, tanggalin ko na lang to para hindi redundant. No? So what happened here is I have here my forms already. Then, okay na yan. So alam nyo naman yan, pwede nyo isend yan via email, text, SMS, etc. or even QR code. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna answer this later. Alright. So tapos na ito yung UI, user interface ng student. Dito sila dito po, lagyan natin ng full name, no? Sorry naman. Kasi baka walang Office 365, for example, no? For the sake of just, showing you the data, so lagyan ko na lang ng full name. Given na, na isang section lang to, and is for Filipino subject. So I don't need to ask na for, for the other details, no? For the sake of time as well. So full name, please describe Philippine origin. Done. All right. I have now my student module or exam, no, quiz interface. So what I'm gonna do here, meron na rin ako nito. I'm gonna go now to our favorite tool, which is Power Automate. So I'm gonna click this one. Okay. Sorry. Let me go there. Para lang ready, no? Buksan ko ulit na lang yung SharePoint ko. Alright. So what I'm gonna do, again, as I mentioned, is to create a flow. So sabi ko kanina, di ba, merong cloud flow, etc. So cloud flow yung gagamitin ko. Alright? And gagamit po tayo ng automated cloud flow because we want to automate. So let's say, for example, this is gonna be my first flow, no? So let's say first Microsoft Power Ed Power Automate. Yan na lang. Alright. Then when the form is submitted, I'm gonna go here, then create it. Okay. Alright. So sinasabi niya, Paul, ano ba yung form na kailangan mong kuhanin? No? So ito po yan, Essay for Filipino 2. I think that's the title of my form, this one. So let's see if nababasa na niya. And nandito na yan. Essay, ito na, Essay for Filipino. Alright? Then what I'm gonna do is to create new step. So ang ginawa niya dito, when a new response is submitted, alright, ibig sabihin, if, okay, may nag-submit dito na student, okay, ito yung babasahin niya. Dito sa flow na to, okay? Alright, the next is, what I'm gonna do is to, get the data na masasubmit. Okay? So when you say get the data na masasubmit, so technically, what will happen is, sorry, may audience ako sa likod, that's my son. What will happen is, kung ano yung sinubmit niya, kailangan kong kuhanin. Of course, the information that I need to get is really important for me to understand or to see ano ba yung sinubmit ng student ko. So what I'm gonna do is, meron dito, pag tinype nyo po dyan yung form, don't worry I'm just doing a demo, pero kung gusto nyo po ng mas malalim na, na understanding or even mas training talaga, then you can contact Microsoft for that. Or even si Sir Francis, no? So get response details. So syempre, gusto kong kuhanin yung response niya. So mamimili ako. This is the form that I'm getting, again, as I mentioned. And unique identifier is the ID. So ano yan in the back end kasi, bawat sulat or bawat submit ng student, sumusulat yan. Let's say 001, 002. Of course, you don't see that kasi back end na yung pinag-uusapan. But again, as I mentioned, walang coding, Microsoft, pinakita niya kung ano yung response ID. Alright, so next step. Ngayon, ang gagawin ko, gusto ko na mailagay yung data sa database ko, which is a SharePoint list. Okay? So, ang gagawin ko, create item, no? So, meron kasi ditong command na, ayan, kung makikita nyo, may mga actions na pwede akong mag-create. When I say item, mag-a-add siya ng item sa SharePoint list, no? So, nandito yan sa community demo. Sana nandito. Ayun, essay database. Nakita natin yung create ko. And then yan na, lumalabas na po, no? Yung mga field na ginawa ko. Ito yung title, ayan, medyo hindi lang yan nababago, pasensya na, but ito yung ginawa ko na full name, no? Ito po yung ginawa ko na full name. So, syempre, ima-match ko na siya. So, yung full name, alright, yung full name, lalagay ko siya sa title. Ito yung full name na, ito, okay? Nagaling dito sa aking sa forms, na sinasagutan ng student ko. So, go there again. So, full name. So, ibig sabihin, yan po yung ilalagay niya sa database. Alright? Essay. So, ito yung sagot niya. Okay? So, ito yung sagot niya. Essay yung nilagay ko na field. So, ito yung sagot niya sa essay na to. And, teacher's assessment value, hindi ko po ilalagay yan. Okay? Kasi, ano yan? Mag-fill up niyan yung teacher later. Okay? Kung gusto niyo lagyan ng submission time, kung kailan na-submit, pwede naman, no? It's okay. Etong responder email, it will only be populated kung may Office 365 or Microsoft 365 account yung isang particular po natin na student. Pero kung wala, okay lang, wag niyo nang ilagay yan. Kaya usually pag sa iba nanghihingi ka ng email, naglalagay ka ng additional na field sa form, dito na email, no? Usually ganun pagka wala silang account. No? Pero so let's pass that muna. All right, then save. Okay. Okay. So eto, gusto ko munang ma-validate. Huwag muna tayong pumunta dun sa parent. Gusto ko lang ma-validate. Sige nga, Paul. Pakitaan mo nga kami dyan na pag nag-encode ka, is pupunta na yan sa SharePoint. Alright? As you can see, sorry, nawala. Ebidensya. So na yung ano natin, essay. Hanapin ko lang yung essay database. No? Hindi ko yata na-save. I'm just kidding. Hanapin natin essay database para nawala. Let me refresh again. So dahil nabasa naman siya dito, so nandyan lang yan somewhere. Alright. So naglo-load na siya, nag-iintay siya ng aking conversation, no? Okay, edit. Then wait lang. So, kailangan ko lang i-check dito sa aking list kung nasaan yung aking, I think hindi ko siya na-show eh. Wait lang. So, let me just find it in my settings. For me to be able to show it. Okay. So, punta ako sa SharePoint settings. Okay. Site pages. Sorry, hindi nyo na kailangan gawin to guys. I'm just checking yung aking ginawang list. I think hindi ko siya na-show. Alright. Kailangan ko lang siyang i-check. Where is the community demo? So, site content. Ayan. Yun. So, nakita na natin, no? So, this one. Yan. Okay. So, wala pa siya. Okay? So, pupunta na tayo ngayon to nag-iintay na yung flow natin kasi nakatest siya, no? So, technically, it will just load. Iniintay niya yung response ko. So, what I'm gonna do now is to answer this in my preview. Alright? So, let's say, si Sir Francis Hernandez. So, it is so awesome. Kaya, ganyan yung flow ko. Yung answer ko. Alright, so it was submitted, etc., etc. The flow should run. Alright, so nakita natin, successful, nag-run, no? So, nag-create siya ng item, essay database, title, etc., etc. Let's see if may nalagay siya. Yun. So, nakita natin, nagkaroon na ng data, no? So, si teacher, mababasa niya na to. Mababasa niya na to, no? So, pag nabasa na ni teacher yan, okay, si Francis Hernandez, student ko, tapos, ito yung sagot niya, it's so awesome, no? Tapos, pwede na siyang maglagay ng assessment dyan. So, yung parents' email, nilagay ko lang yun. Kunyari, gusto, of course, sa guidance, sa registrar, pwede natin kuhanin yung parents' email for us to be able to send the details to the parent. I'm gonna go to that. But, I'm gonna show you the flow that I created. Now, ang gusto kong gawin kasi is, itong flow na to, what will happen is, yung grade, okay, yung grade ng student after i-grade ng teacher, is mapadala sa parent. Ganun kasimple, yung essay na yon, no? Yung essay na yun. So, magdadagdag ako po ng step. So, lalagay ko dito, for me to be able to point that to Outlook, no? Right? So, let's say, new. Okay. Get list. Siyempre, i-get ko naman yung information ko. So, yung get items. There you go. Alright. So, what happened is kukuhanin ko yung community demo. Okay. Oh, sige. Para hindi tayo malito, hindi ko na lang siya dito gagawin. So, kunyari gagawa ako ng dalawang flow. Okay na to. Save ko na to. Tapos na ako dito. So, this is my first flow for just getting that. Alright. Flow 1. Gagawa ako ng isang flow. Okay? Now, ang gusto ko naman gawin, as I mentioned, kapag ka nag-grade na si teacher, automatic magsisend ng email. So, when an item is created, click ko lang to. Kaya ako po gustong gumawa ng bago kasi pinapakita ko sa inyo, Paul, di na pala namin kailangan hanapin yan. Nandyan na yan, no? Alright? Or pwede rin to, yan. Kasi kailangan ma-modify siya or ma-create. So, maglalagay na tayo. So, let's say, send, naming convention lang, medyo ano tayo dyan. Kailangan din natin matutunan dyan. Flow 2. Send email. Okay? Then create. Okay. So, ang gagawin po niya is, ang ating SharePoint list, syempre, hahanapin niya yan. Kasi, of course, kailangan natin malagay kung saan natin kukuhanin yung data. So, let's say, essay database pa rin ako. Alright? Then, new steps. Then, what I want to do here is to send an email. Tingnan ko kung madidiscover ko na siya. So, Outlook naman. Ngayon, may Outlook naman tayo na pinag-uusapan dito, no? Kasi itong Outlook na to is, ito yung gagawin natin or gagamitin natin na app for us to send an email. Alright? So, meron dito send an email, no? Nandiyan na yan. So, kiklik ko to para lumabas lahat ng option ni Outlook. So, send an email. Okay? Guys, etong mga pinapakita ko, wala po kayong special software na kailangan dito. Nandyan na po yan sa mga Microsoft 365 natin. So, mag-a-add ako ng dynamic content. So, ano ba yon? So, syempre, parents email. Kasi nga, isi-send ko siya sa parent. Tapos, subject, hi. Okay? PC. Sorry, iba na lang. Doon ko na lang sa body gagawin yan. Essay Q2 for Filipino. Result, no? So, sabihin ko dito, hi. Tapos, full name po to, hindi lang na iba. Of course, meron pa tayong inaayos dyan. Ito yung full name ng student. So, hindi ko lang nakuha yung hindi lang ako nakapaglagay ng parent name, no? But, let's say, ito yung parent name. Tapos, yung parent's email, nilagay ko na dito. Kunyari, score of, tapos yung full name, alright? Tapos yung sagot niya sa essay, kung gusto nyo pa rin kuhanin yan, alright? And then, yung assessment value ng teacher, then thanks. Then save. Okay. What will happen here is, pag may na-create at modify dito, magsisend siya ng email. So, iti-test ko po siya ulit. So, test. So, again, nasan yung aking teacher's interface? Nandito sa loob. So, kunyari, to si Francis, okay, gusto ko siyang i-edit. Click lang natin to. Sorry. Edit. And then, let's say I want to put a parent's email, paul@active.io. And then, pwede ka mag-add ng attachment, tapos gusto ko A+. So, save. So, may score na si Francis, no? So, pag close ko yan, dapat gumana na yung ating flow. Okay, your flow ran successfully. So, ibig sabihin, ayan, sinendan niya na. So, yung email ko, as Paul Soliman, which is nilagay ko po, kung mapapansin nyo, hindi naman ako naglagay ng value dito. Kinuha po niya yung value sa nilagay ni teacher na parent's email. So, pag bumalik po ako pag chinek ko po yung email ko, ayan, okay, makikita nyo na meron akong result. Essay Q2 for Filipino result. Na-receive ko yan. Ako yung parent, no? So, papakita nyo dyan, hi, ito yung nilagay ko sa flow. Nakita nyo? Score of Francis Hernandez. It's so awesome. A+. Ito yung score. Pwede nyo lagyan nyo ng score, tapos pwede nyo i-edit, pwede nyo i-format. For the sake of time, of course, I just want to show you that it can be done. So, nakita nyo, in-automate ko na yung process, may criteria ako, etc., etc. And what happened there is, napakita po natin kung gaano lang siya kabilis gawin, na wala pa akong 1 hour, of course 1 hour lang yung talk natin or 45 minutes. Pero at the end of the day, pinakita natin dito that without even writing a single line of code, just being familiar on the platform itself, I was able to create an app for a student, which is via Microsoft Forms, a bridge to the score and to the database, and the notification tool na mag-email sa parent kung ano yung nilagay na score ng teacher. So hopefully that's in a way that's a good reference to you, for you to automate some things in your classroom, in your school as well. So example lang po yun, marami pang pwedeng gawin. Again, as I mentioned, nagkamali pa nga ako dahil hindi ko na save hindi ko na show sa SharePoint site, pero ang dali ko lang nahanap, no? Of course, because I'm familiar with the tool, but at the end of the day, I was saying na hindi na po ako nagde-dev ngayon, hindi na po ako system administrator because I'm running a business. So you as Microsoft educator, sabi nga ni Sir kanina nung ating unang speaker, you just need to explore it, 'di ba? Yung mga tools na 'yan. All right, if I can go back to my slide, this is my last point, the key takeaway. Hello? So kung kailangan niyo po ng again, guidance, etc. So ayan, yung mga teachers po natin dito, they can really assist you on doing Power Automate. There's no tool, all right? There's no tool involved. There's no additional tool involved as long as you have Microsoft 365. You just need to activate that. All right? So my the key takeaways here is really there is false automation and true automation. At least na-share ko yon, and sana makapulot tayo doon sa sinabi ko. It's that's the hard truth. And Power Automate can help you create a true automation without coding. As I mentioned, it's not only the technology, it's really the processes and the people. So you just need to plan out. Yung kanina, syempre alam ko na po yung gagawin ko, nasa utak ko na yan kasi pinag-usapan na namin yan ni Sir Francis. But yun na, plinano ko on the spot, nagawa ko na. Kaya sinasabi ko, sobrang dali ng technology. Pero syempre, kailangan nyo i-plan out, no? So, i-plan out nyo kung ano yung kailangan nyo gawin. Magsulat po kayo ng process, no? Parang step 1, step 2, step 3. Parang yung ginawa ko kanina. And if you have that, then you can automate already. So, thank you for listening dito sa special na to. So, maraming salamat.
And thank you rin po, Sir Paul, for sharing with us kung paano pala mag-power automate ng napakadaming steps pero in just one click, lahat ng possible na pwedeng mong ma-generate na response, pwede pala. Teacher Zari?
Yes, thank you very much, Sir Paul. Sorry po. Ayan. So, Sir Paul, sabi nga dito ni Teacher Maria Valdeo, automation is so exciting, nakaka-good vibes nga daw po. And sabi din dito ni Teacher Lina Maiso, sabi niya, wow, I will explore Cloudflow later. Thanks, Sir Paul. Additional knowledge na naman. With happy Ang dami na namang napulot ng ating mga viewers ngayon mula sa ating Sir Paul. Ayan. How about you, Miss Marty?
Actually, ako, gusto ko lang ding i-share itong sinabi ni Teacher Estrelita Abaya. Thank you so much, Sir Paul. Kudos to your experience. O365 is really an all-in-one shop. We only have to get familiarized and be used to it. Automation is very helpful and makes our work easy. So, God bless po. So, talagang more on familiarity lang po talaga ang kailangan natin gawin and awareness. So, yun po yung na-share nyo sa aming umaga. Awareness na meron po pala mga gantong features na pwedeng magamit sa kanilang mga Microsoft 365 account. So, from awareness, nandun na yung thinking na, uy, ito pala ay posible, and yung passion for learning ng ating mga educators, dyan na magsisimula, yung mas magkakaroon tayo ng mas maraming power automators na educators. So, maraming salamat po, Sir Paul. So, Sir Paul, ngayon, magsasay bye-bye muna kami sa inyo at mamaya tatawagin po namin ulit kayo dahil hindi pa po tapos ang appreciation namin sa inyo para sa araw na ito. Thank you again, Sir Paul. Ngayon, Teacher Zari?
Yes, Miss Marty. Ready na po ata ang ating mga teachers sa ating huling segment sa araw na ito na alam ko namang inaabangan naman talaga ng lahat. Okay, so ngayon, teachers, let me introduce you to our third discussant for today. Without further ado, to begin our much awaited segment, I would like to introduce to you our trainer, one of Dentist Technology's master trainer with a wide experience in a local and international classroom setting, a licensed teacher, a certified Microsoft innovative educator, our Microsoft Digitools trainer. Virtual applause naman tayo dyan para kay Miss Debbie Galingasyon. Woo!
Hello.
Hello,
Hi, good
Miss
morning,
Debbie.
teachers, Teacher Mardy, and Teacher Zari, and everybody who's watching right now. Thank
Okay,
you.
hindi na namin papatagalin. Take it away, Teacher Debbie.
Okay, I'll sharing my screen. Thank you, Teacher Mardy and Teacher Zari. Okay, can you see my screen now? All right. So I'm sharing my window now. I'm here in Forms. So connecting po kay Sir Paul sa demonstration niya, he showed you Microsoft Forms. So I'm gonna show naman po samples. I won't be showing step by step, pero ito po sa Microsoft Forms, we can use this for assessment. So differentiate po muna na. And when we go to Forms, using your Microsoft 365, you will choose here. Dito po sa right now that I'm clicking on, we have new quiz or new form. Ano pong difference nun? When you create a new form, this is more of a survey. Walang grading. When you go naman to new quiz, when you click on that, later po makita nyo na we can put points on that na magi-grade. Na ginawa din po ni Sir Paul a while ago, na mention niya yun na sa forms naman nagi-grade din. Pero meron po dong, it's not as like automatic as automate kasi may feature po tayo dito na pwede natin i-manually grade, like for what he said yung essay. Okay? So, example po natin. Dito po muna tayo sa form. So, what I did here is we have a pre-assessment form. Why is it pre-assessment? Because this time po, when, di ba, first day po ng school, just gauge it kung anong level po. But right now, I'm looking into the topic na Galaxy. So what I want to do is check the prior knowledge of my students. Kaya I'm using only form because I don't need points for that. We don't need to have like right answers and wrong answers. It's just checking of your background knowledge. So example po, I've opened it, created it. Dito naman po, ito po yung una nyo makikita. And magagaling naman tayong teacher, so you can easily follow that when you do this. Ito po yung title and this is the description. Okay, so I'm creating a poll to see how much my students remember like the Galaxy from like previous years nila siguro po, no? So when I created the question, when you do that, just click add new. And then just click on this choice. Yun po yung ginawa ko dito. Choice and then yung question ko po dito. Yan. So my question here could be ano pong shape ng like the galaxy, where tayo sa like galaxy or the Milky Way itself. So you can type the question here. What else? When I added this one, I added new, and ang ginamit ko naman po dito, hindi siya actually choice. What I have here is text. Kaya po, when this shows, I clicked on long answer or short answer para po yung mga estudyante, they can write in an essay type, like text form po. Okay? And then here, you can also add, what I did here naman po is rating. Okay? So you can choose, is it number or star? So I'm just asking, interested ba sila sa outer space? Mafe-feel natin, mag-gauge natin yan as a teacher. Okay? So that's an example po using Microsoft Form, yung sa form feature, pag pre-assessment. Okay? Next naman is, ito na po, summative. Okay? So what do we do for summative? Ito po. Formative po muna tayo para, kasi last naman lagi yung summative, para hindi po kayo, hindi kayo malito. Okay. So for formative, I'll click on exit ticket for Milky Way. Okay, exit ticket po, when we say kasi like formative assessment, siguro sa end nyo, your term would be like a takeaway, parang ganun, like quiz, like end of quiz, end of chapter, depende, like quarter, chapter, depends sa lesson plan nyo, right? Okay, so this is an example of formative assessment. Ang ginamit ko naman po dito is quiz. Okay, so same lang then, they will ask you to put the title and then the description. I did not put any description anymore. So this is just a sample of a formative assessment naman. And yeah, may questions here, number 1, and then choice ulit po ginamit ko dito. And then I've just click on like options. Kaya po napunta dito yung mga option answer natin. And then pinta tayo dito sa right side. As you can see, ano pong correct answer natin here? And how did I did that is because I've clicked on this to put this as the correct answer. If hindi po yun yung correct answer, yeah, nandito po siya sa right side. Always check it sa right side niya. So, of course, the correct answer here is Milky Way. Right? And then you can keep on adding the options. And then, don't forget the points. Ito na po yung sa quiz. Malalagyan nyo na siya ng points. Okay? And then you can also click multiple answers depending kung kailangan ba ng multiple answers. But obviously, this one not. And then, don't forget to toggle on required. It will require your students to answer. And that's what you want. When you put out a test or a quiz, kailangan may sagot yung mga estudyante. So, click on required. Okay? And then just continue on, like, click adding new, add new, add new. Okay? So, that's an example of formative assessment. What else? You can also create a math quiz, like putting a math equation. So, paano naman po yun? Quiz po ulit yung ginamit ko. And then, for example, here, we're solving an equation. So, paano po nalagay si equation? Quick demo lang po natin. Click add new, and then choice. Okay, so like solve for x. Enter an equation. How did it show? Dito po sa ellipsis. Yeah. Here, I've clicked on math kasi. Dito po. So ellipsis, yung 3 dots po sa baba, lower right side, click on math so you can enter the equation. And then type the equation here. And then here po sa example natin, may suggested results as you can see. Suggested results po ng solve for x. And then of course, this is my equation. And then ito na po yung results, and you just keep on like adding it. Add nyo po sa options. And then again, click nyo po yung right, click the check icon sa correct answer po. Okay? So that's how you can use naman Microsoft Forms for creating a math quiz. Last, we have a summative assessment. So ito na po is this one. I'll be showing naman under the linguistics. So poetry naman siya. So paano natin gagamitin as a summative assessment? What I have here is, yeah, quiz po ulit. And then, just click add new. Paano po sila lumabas? It's actually text. And then I added an image, upload. And then I have it here, yung poem ko po. So lalabas dyan, yung poem mag-upload. And then, since may question na ako dito, I said type the lines that demonstrate imagery in the poem. So I can type the question here, and then I can, like, yeah, add answers. Pero pag essay, syempre po wala namang like exact answers, right? Because they need to type the lines from the poem itself. So, ang makikita ko lang dito is points for now. Okay? I-review po natin yon later. So, I'll show you how. Now, paano po kung meron kayong exact answer, like what I have here? What element of poetry is circled in the picture? So, for sure, you already know that. And enter your answer here. Just like edit and then enter your answer here. And I have here stanza. Okay? So, ma-detect na po ni Forms yon. And then yung points, I already added. And then, don't forget again, required. So, that's how we do, like, this is naman a summative assessment example. Okay? So, going back po dun sa, like, essay natin, yung typed lines. Wala naman exact answer dun because you have to check that manually. Okay? So, let's go to responses. And then review answers. Go down. Balik po tayo dito. Nakita niyo po na needs review. Wala pa po siyang points. So, sa student niyo po, kay student A, student B, lagyan niyo po siya ng points. Depending po sa sagot nila. Kung, yeah, how would you grade it? Okay? So, that's like an example naman for summative assessment. Okay? So, a quick recap, I've showed you like the difference, like new form or new quiz. Pag new quiz po, may points doon. You can manually enter or automatic na madedetect na po ni forms yun if you've added a point. New form, it's just like a survey. Okay, pre-assessment po yun. All right, so that's it for our Microsoft DigiTools. So yeah, back to the host. I'll stop sharing my screen. Thank you so much, everybody. Sorry, it was really quick.
Okay, so thank you, Teacher Debbie. Pero we have a few questions sa ating chat box with regards to the use of
Yes.
Microsoft Forms. So we have
Okay.
two questions here from Teacher Anna Welin Bakar. Sabi po dito, pwede po bang mag-add ng timer dyan sa assessment form? And what if kung images ang option? Pwede po ba?
Yes, I've showed the images option. Sorry, mabilis kasi pero nandun po siya sa, so you add a question and then click text and then dun sa tabi ng question may add image. Okay, so for the timer, I'm not sure about that. I don't have a definite answer, but we can get back to you, like answer in the comment box. I'm gonna research into that because I did not saw that when I was researching na kung pwede ba mag-insert ng timer. But if anyone here could answer
Teacher
it,
Debbie.
then it's nice.
Yes, we could help you po with that. Yes, you could put a
Mhm.
timer po sa ating Microsoft Form. So, Teacher Debbie, maybe you would want to share your screen para mas magkaroon tayo ng magandang visual para sa
Mhm.
ating sagot. So, we will help you. Teacher Zari and I will help you para
Okay.
i-share kung saan nila matatagpuan yung paano maglagay ng timer option sa ating Microsoft Forms. Tama ba, Teacher Zari?
Of course. At
Yes.
habang nagse-set up ulit to share
Ayan.
the screen for Teacher Debbie, meron lang dito gusto ko lang basahin. Sabi dito ni
Sige po.
Teacher Mela, cool, galing naman ng MS Forms with solving math, especially sa algebra. Ngayon ko lang nalaman yon, pa-add to cart nga. Sabi niya. Napa-add to cart si teacher.
Ayan po, Ms. Zari and Teacher Zari and Teacher Marby. So I'm back na sa forms. Okay.
Okay, so there po at the corner, doon, kindly open po one quiz.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have already a quiz, ayun, doon sa three dots icon at the corner. Diyan, dun sa tinatawag nating settings.
Mhm.
Ayan, so please scroll down. Ayan, so
Mhm.
you could, dun sa start date and end date, so you could click that.
Okay.
At dyan mo po mailalagay yung timer. So, for example, today, dyan, June 5.
Mhm.
Okay, June 5, and then let's say you just want 1 hour, so you have to put 1 p.m. And then yung end date, same, but you put until 2 p.m. So, ganun po yung way on how we could put a timer. So, automatic, once nag-start ngayon, right now, dahil ang start time is 1 o'clock p.m., so if you access the link, hindi pa po siya mau-open ng mga students. So, sa exact time na 1 o'clock p.m., doon po mag-o-open yung forms, and at exactly 2 o'clock p.m., magko-close po yung forms natin. Okay?
Okay.
Ayan. So actually, dun po
Thank
sa
you,
settings
teacher.
natin, marami pa
Mhm.
po tayong matututunan ng mga pwedeng ilagay. Kasi pwede rin po tayong maglagay ng, pwede rin yung shuffle questions para maiwasan yung sabi nyo nga na magkapare-pareha. So magkakaiba yung order
Mhm.
ng mga questions nila. Possible po yan per student. And pwede rin pong mag-customize ng thank you message and yung sa progress bar. So for example, kung ilan na po yung nasasagot nila, para lalong-lalo ng helpful yon kapag may sections po ang ating quiz. So for example, section 1 is a multiple choice question, and then section 2 is for essay. So makikita nila yung progress nila na hindi pa pala sila tapos. So may mga succeeding pages pa sila na dapat nilang masagutan. Teacher Zari?
Yes, so ayun nga teachers, hopefully nakadagdag din po talaga at nasatisfy po kayo ni Teacher Mardy and Teacher Debbie para po mas ma-utilize natin ang MS Forms. Ayan, so sabi nga dito nila Teacher Christine Bacordo, these MS Forms are very helpful in making assessments. Love to use it in for lesson to my students, can be accessed easily and get results faster. Ayan, maraming salamat po muli, Teacher Debbie, para sa isa na namang Microsoft Digitools discussion for today. And of course, sa additional input ni Teacher Mardy. O diba, tag team sila ngayon. At para naman dyan, sa ating mga, bago tayo mag-move forward naman sa awarding of certificates to our speakers, of course, meron din po kami para sa inyo, viewers. So, meron po tayong MIE code din po para sa session na ito, which will be shared in a bit. Okay, that is also one way. Additional po ito dun sa code na binigay po sa atin ni Sir Glenny this earlier. Okay? So for our MIE code po, we have this code. Ayan. So you can screenshot, type it in on your chat box or in your notepads right there, and then you can scan this QR code so you would know the step by step or the instruction on how to redeem your MIE code, especially kung first time po ninyo. Okay, so that's it for our MIE code. Now, Miss Marty, I think it is time for our awarding ceremony.
Of course, para po sa ating awarding of certificates, may I request po ulit our speakers to turn on their cameras so that mai-award po namin ang inyong mga certificates. So, Sir Paul and Sir Glenn, ayan. And also, may I call Miss Rubelin to award our certificate of appreciation to our dear speakers.
Yes, an awesome and amazing morning, everyone. So we are so glad and grateful to our speaker, Sir Glenny Laping, and of course, Sir Paul. All right, so to award your certificate, let me share my screen. All right, so once again, thank you din po sa ating magagaling na host. We have of course, Miss Zari and Teacher Mardy. Hey, yan, nakaka-excite po, no, yung mga activities natin this morning. Grabe yung learnings. So, yung comment box natin, binabaha din ng mga relevant comments. Ayan. So, yes. So, once again, maraming salamat po. Continue lang po tayo sa panonood. Alright. So, in behalf po ng DepEd EdTech Unit, lalo na po sa ating ICTS. So let me read the citation pala. Alright, so Republika ng Pilipinas, Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Services, DepEd Complex, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City. Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Glenny E. Laping, Educational Technology Specialist, and at the same time, Head Teacher 3, ISDO Lapu-Lapu City, Region 7, for sharing his valuable knowledge as guest speaker during TechTalks for All Days, transitioning to Digital Authentic Assessment webinar conducted by the ICTS Educational Technology Unit on June 5, 2021. Given this 5th day of June 2021 and DepEd Central Office, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City, Philippines. Signed by the head of ICTS ETU, Mark Anthony C.C., Director 4 of ICTS, Abram Y.C. Abanil, and Undersecretary for Administration, Elaine Delby Pasqua. Once again, thank you and congratulations, Sir Glenny. At syempre po, meron din po tayo para sa next speaker natin. So, congratulations also for Sir Paul G. Soliman, the CEO and CTO of Active Collab Incorporated, Microsoft MVP for Business Applications. So, thank you so much. And the certificate is presented for sharing his valuable knowledge as guest speaker during Tech Talks for All Days, transitioning to Digital Authentic Assessment webinar conducted by the ICTS Educational Technology Unit on June 5, 2021. Given this 5th day of June 2021, and DepEd Central Office, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City, Philippines. OUA Memo 0005210150, signed by the head of ICTS ETU, Mark Anthony C.C., Director 4 of ICTS, Abram Y.C. Abanil, and Undersecretary for Administration, Elaine Delby Pasqua. Thank you and congratulations, Sir Paul. At syempre naman sa ating napakagandang speaker this morning sa ating DigiTools, Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Miss Debbie Kalingacion, Master Trainer of Odantis Technologies Incorporated, for sharing her valuable knowledge as guest speaker during TechTalks for All Days. So thank you so much, Miss Debbie. So this certificate is also signed by the head of ICTS ETU, Mark Anthony Sisi, Abram YC Abanel, Director 4 of ICTS, and Undersecretary for Administration, Alain Delby Pasqua. So, ayan, congratulations sa ating tatlong speakers this
Yay.
morning.
Thank you very
Hey!
much, Miss Rubelin. How about naman po, Miss Rubelin? Baka meron tayong reminder siya about the survey and our afternoon tech talks.
Yes po, meron po. So, sa mga nanonood po, hindi pa po tayo tapos ha. Meron pa po tayong event pa this afternoon sa ating My Tech Talk. Let me share again my screen para talaga malaman. Kasi yung iba, hindi pa sila well-guided kung ano yung gagawin. Lalo na sa mga first-timer natin sa Tech Talks. Kung meron man po, this is for you. Alright, so, okay. Alright, so here. Ito yung reminders natin, ha? Foremost, make sure po answer the evaluation form for today para alam namin kung ano pang dapat i-improve o ano yung dapat ibigay namin na mga trainings pa sa susunod na mga episode ng Tech Talk. So, please go to https:/tinyurl.com/techtalksjune5. So, makikita din yan sa ating banner. Yan yung evaluation link. Then, of course, to claim your certificate of appreciation or participation for June 5, please go to www.training.deped.gov.ph. Yung mga suki na po namin dito, ay may account na po kayo. Pero yung mga baguhan po, pwede kayong mag-create ng account sa ating PDLMS ng Department of Education. At hindi po ito exclusive for public school teachers lang. Pwede din po yung mga nasa private schools. At syempre yung mga baguhan natin, maybe hindi pa kayo nagtuturo pero you are into teaching, you can also create an account there. Then, make sure to save your selfie and so with the screenshots of your certificates. Alright, then share the link of that collection later in our PDLMS for you to get your certificate of recognition during the last Saturday of June 2025. Then, this is our first week sa June ha, pero ibibigay ko na rin yung anong dapat gawin ninyo para makaklaim ng inyong certificate of recognition sa katapusan po ng June. At syempre, may pa-contest din po kasi tayo, Miss Zari at Miss Mardy, no, yung we selected po 10 best outputs sa ating wakelet.com, yung mga may ano talaga na magandang mga outputs, proof of attending our sessions sa TechTalks at My TechTalk. So, dito po, create your Wakelet accounts at https://www.wakelet.com. Then you need to create a new collection and rename it to My TechTalk June Portfolio. So, dapat gagawa din kayo ng portfolio na ganito. Then, save your selfie and so with screenshots of your certificates. Then, share the link of that collection later in our PDLMS for you to get your certificate of recognition. So, sana malinaw po ang aking pagkasabi ko anong dapat gawin. So, back to you, Teacher Mardy and Teacher Zari.
Maraming salamat po ulit, Miss Rubelin. Alright, now, for our speakers naman po, any parting words to our viewers? Let's start with Sir Glenny. Sir Glenny?
Alright, maraming salamat po sa pagsubaybay palagi sa ating Tech Talk webinar series. At salamat po talaga sa ating Odantis Technology headed by Sir Francis Xavier. Of course, ating mga kasamahan from Odantis, Teacher Zari and Teacher Mardy and Teacher Debbie and Sir Paul. And maraming salamat po na kayo po ay palaging nakaantabay, palagi po kayong uhaw na uhaw para po matuto ngayong panahon ng pandemya. Pagpatuloy lang po natin to, sa awa ng Panginoon, tayo po'y maitulay ng kaniyang awa. Alright, so sulong edukalidad.
Thank you po, Sir Paul.
Yeah, so again, just want to thank DepEd, Sir Francis Odentes, and Microsoft for inviting me here. As I mentioned, it's good to this platform is good to share our passion as well. So I in a way, I just want to remind you that always practice. That's the key for you to be the growth mindset, always be hungry for learning. It's really the key. It's 1% talent, 99% hard work. Yan talaga yan. So if you want to be an expert to what yung kanina na pinakita ko, walang mangyayari sa inyo kung mag-a-attend lang kayo dito, after that wala na, no? So you need constant practice. So thank you, and God bless all.
Thank you po. How about you, Teacher Debbie? Any parting words po for our viewers and your fans?
Thank you for learning with us today, and we'll see you again next time po. So thank you, Microsoft. Thank you, Department of Education. And thank you, Sir Paul, Sir Glenny, Miss Rubeline, and of course, our team, Teacher Zari and Teacher Marty. Thank you po.
Alright, thank you very much po muli sa ating mga speakers. Alright, so isa na namang ito sa mga dami at dadami pang makabuluhang usapan at talakayan dito sa ating Tech Talk series, everyone. So maraming salamat po ulit sa inyong time. Miss Marty.
At saka po para sa mga nagtatanong po ulit nung may mga nakita lang po ko dito ng code certificate sa Microsoft. So ang code po natin na ibinigay po kanina ni Teacher Zari ay T-FHF4B3E21. So again, I will repeat T-FHF4B3E21. So I hope na-catch nyo po yung ating MIE code para po sa ating session with Teacher Debbie kanina. Okay. So again, maraming salamat po sa nag-uumapaw nyo ng mga pasasalamat dito sa ating meeting chat. So mula nag-start tayo hanggang nandito tayo, pa-end na po. Sobra pa rin talaga yung mga comments and yung active nyo pong subaybay sa atin dito. Kahit na 3 hours po at sobrang aga nating nagsasama-sama dito. Pero hanggang umpisa hanggang dulo, magkakasama pa rin po tayo. So tsaka po yung ating link para po sa ating naka-flash na po sa ating screen yung MIE code na ibinigay po sa atin ni Teacher Zari. And yung para naman po sa atin, so Miss Rubeline, may mga nagtatanong din po ulit about din sa ating evaluation link for this session.
Ayan po sa baba, yung ating evaluation link. Ayan, yung https://tinyurl.com TechTalks June 5. Ayan, madali lang po siyang i-remember kasi may TechTalks June 5 po. Ayan, sa baba.
Ayan. So, naka-flash na po sa ating screen. So, continuous lang po yung paggalaw niyan. So, makakatch na po yan. Sabi nga po ni Teacher Rubeline, ni Miss Rubeline, it's tinyurl.com/TechTalks June 5. So, tandaan nyo lang po, TechTalks and ang araw po ngayon is June 5. So, yan na po yung inyong link para sa araw na ito. At saka again, naka-flash na po sa ating screen kung ano po yung MIE code. So, ayan, hopefully po, na-catch nyo na po yung mga important codes at yung mga important links na kakailanganin nyo. And also, yung sa Wakelet portfolio na sinasabi ni Teacher Rubeline kanina para po makuha nyo yung overall na certificate, naka-flash na rin po sa ating comments section. So,
then, another po pala, Teacher Marty at Teacher Zari, no, wag po yung mga hindi po nakapanood sa amin ng live, wag po kayo mag-alala kasi nga recorded po ang mga webinar session natin dito sa Tech Talk. So, pwede po nating balik-balikan 24/7. So, ayan, marami dyan sa ating EdTech Unit na Facebook account, nandun din sa ating DepEd TV channel, at syempre naman po, pag pumasok kayo sa ating PDLMS, pwede din kayo manood doon. Then after that, you will take the quiz. At syempre, you can claim your certificate of participation. Yan.
Ayan, mabuti naman po yan, Teacher Rublin, kasi kanina po nung nagde-demo si Sir Paul, may mga nagko-comment sa atin na ang
Mm.
bilis daw po ni Sir Paul. Pero don't worry, mga team replay, pwedeng-pwede yan ulit-ulitin on loop hanggang sa makuha natin yung Power Automate na itinuro at idinemo sa atin kanina ni Sir Paul. So ako as an educator, gusto ko lang din pong i-share sa inyo kung ano po yung nakuha ko for today's session. Kasi assessment is really a crucial part in the learning cycle. So kailangan po natin talaga yung assessment for us to improve our planning and yung ating implementation. Because without assessment, hindi po natin talaga magigauge, hindi po natin malalaman as educators kung ano po yung needs ng ating mga estudyante in terms of their learning. Kasi nga 'di ba sabi natin, iba-iba ang pangangailangan ng bawat estudyante, iba't iba ang pangangailangan, iba't iba yung paraan kung paano po natin maa-approach or mapupukaw ang kanilang interest sa mga topics and lessons na itinuturo natin bilang guro. So ito pong mga i-shinare na sa atin ngayong umaga ni Sir Glenny, ni Sir Paul, it's just another way para po mas mapabilis ang ating reach at para mas mapalawak ang ating reach, lalong-lalo na in terms of assessment, hindi lang sa ating mga estudyante, pero para na rin po sa ating mga parents. So, importante po talaga na yung stakeholders of learning ay talagang sama-sama at nagtutulungan para mas mapabuti ang edukasyon. Sabi nga ni Sir Glenny kanina, sulong edukalidad. How about you, Teacher Zari, before we end? Share us naman.
Alright. So, yun na nga, nasabi mo na nga, Miss Mardy, talagang napaka-importante na assessment para sa mga teachers. For my take naman po, dun sa mga teachers na nagkakaroon ng doubts on trying virtual assessment and even the results, kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng anxiety if these results are really nag-accurate. Kasi 'di ba meron tayong mga teachers dyan na may doubt na siya ba talaga nagawa nito or not, kasi physically we're not there. So, just trust your students, give them accurate or clear instruction, makakuha po tayo ng magandang feedback dyan using these kind or different approach natin ngayon. So, gawin lang po natin ang ating kaya, ang magagawa natin, and then just practice the things that you are getting from different platforms as well para ma-improve pa po natin ang ating mga strategies na pwede nating i-apply ngayon sa new normal natin, lalo na sa online teaching. Alright. And also, hindi lang po dito nagtatapos ang ating Tech Talks for June. Siyempre, meron din po tayo. Let me take this opportunity to invite you as well for our next session naman. On June 19, magkakaroon tayo ng panibagong mga set of speakers. So, we want you teachers to be there as well and be with us and know yung sino yung mga speakers na to na magbibigay sa atin ng mga fresh discoveries and learnings sa ating community, sa ating Tech Talks series. Ayan, Miss Marty. Maraming
Ayan.
salamat po.
At para lang dagdagan, para mas lalong mapukaw yung interest nila, naabangan tayo sa June 19. Ang topic po natin for June 19 ay 21st Century Skills for Employability. So, wow, employability. Paano ba yan sa panahon ngayon na talagang ang dami ng pagbabago, ang daming changes. Sabi
True.
nga, digital. The future is digital talaga.
Yes.
So, paano nagko-cope yung mga ating mga employers doon and us na naghahanap ng mga work? Paano tayo makaka-cope sa demands ng ating makabagong panahon? So, ayan.
Okay.
Tandaan niyo po, mark the date, June 19,
Yes.
dito sa ating Tech Talks series.
Especially na sa mga students natin dyan, nag-graduate na. You should watch our next series, our next session, at talagang makakatulong yon sa inyo. Alright?
Ayan. So again, we thank you all for being with us today. And also, inuulit ko lang po, we would like to invite you later sa hapon para sa naman sa Meet Tech Talks at 1 p.m. Huwag niyo pong kakalimutan yan. So, hindi pa po tapos ang learning sa araw na to. Yung morning session pa lang po ang ating tapos. Pero mas marami pa po yan sa hapon. So, abangan niyo po. At again, next week, June 19, iniimbitahan po namin ulit kayo for another Tech Talk series at samahan niyo po kami na na po kami sa mga bagong wonderful speakers na imbitahan namin to feed our thoughts and also our hearts. So this is your Tech Talk host, Teacher Mardy.
And Teacher Zari, see you next week.
Same day, same
Same
time.
day, same time. Hashtag Tech Talk.
Tech Talk.
See you
Have a good
around.
weekend.